given both our teams the best chance to win.
It's the Orioles and two managers unmasked as we get set to go in Game 2 of this four-game set. Orioles coming away with a 4-2 win in the ballgame last night, and the Yankees perilously close to being out of post-game contention, and the Orioles that much closer to being in. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. And what you saw there with the two managers having a chat, that kicked off the ball game. That came in the first inning between innings last night. That's how hot this series is. It does matter. As Buck Showalter said, both these guys trying to give their clubs the advantage any way that they can. Close ball game last night, but the Orioles came away with a victory. And tonight, they get to see a right-hander on the mound. They like that. We've talked about the left-handers being thrown against the Orioles. Here's why. What you're trying to do is nullify some of the offense when you throw a left-hander. It is a right-hander tonight. That favors Davis. That favors Jones. That favors McLeod. That favors Markakis. You see the record, 53-43 against the right-handers, 24-23 against the left-handers. So while the left-handers may be a problem, Jim Palmer tonight with a right-hander, the Orioles hope the offense can really jack it up.
Yeah, except it's Nova.
Oh, well.
Unfortunately, yeah, they're going to have to deal with that. I mean, he's pitched two complete games, his first complete game shutout in his last start. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is this is a game of adjustment. They know he's got a good curveball. He was perfect in New York. I mean, 93 on the corner curveballs. It just had Will about 65%. Normally, he throws about 50% of them over, Gary. So you need to make an adjustment. And we saw it last night. It doesn't have to be home runs. They did all the little things last night to win.
They manufactured runs as well as they have all season long. The Orioles, that is, in the ball game last night. Will they need to do that again tonight? A lot of folks are going to be here to find out. Game 2 of the four-game set coming up. Bank for the achiever in you, and by University of Maryland University College. Summer returned to the Baltimore area today with a temperature in the mid-90s. Here's our train game time temperature tonight. It is 91 degrees to kick it off. Some high overcast, a little breeze blowing out to left field. Train celebrating its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Here's the starting lineup for the Yankees. It'll be Gardner. A-Rod's going to stay in that 2 spot where he hit last night. Cano, Soriano, Granderson, Mark Reynolds, the former Oriole, Ichiro, Nunez, Stewart is back, bad left foot back in the lineup. A-Rod last night, the home run, 1 of 2 hits.
And our scouting report on the, what is he, 28 years old, turned 28 earlier in the summer. Follow the leader for Miguel Gonzalez. And again, the Orioles, Tillman pitched about as good a game in the 6-game winning streak. And that's what the Orioles have against the Yankees here at Camden Yards. The ERA is 2.29. So let's keep that in mind. He loves the yard. Started out in his career 0-2. Since then, 9-2 over his last 15 starts. And then in the moment, his last start against the Yankees, it was a bad one because he gave 5 runs in the 5th inning. He said he gave up a home run in the 4th to Soriano. He said he just kind of lost some focus. So part of pitching, we saw Tillman do it, and is to be in the moment and you remember the past, but you stay in the present. And done a nice job of doing that. He's got 4 pitches to get you out. The righties hit him better, long ball, and this is a home run ballpark, 14 of the 20. But again, it seems, with the exception of that 5-run inning, he's pretty comfortable pitching against these Yankees.
Doug Showalter has always wanted him to pitch at Yankee Stadium because there seemed to be a comfort level there. So in the starts he's had, 7 career starts against the Yankees. That includes postseason. He's only had 1 that's come here at home. That was on May 21 of this year. He did not figure in the decision in an Orioles 3-2 win. So here we go in game 2. The Orioles now just a game and a half out of that wild card spot, the second wild card position. The Yankees find themselves 3 games out, and now it really gets desperate times for the Yankees. For the Orioles, it's about staying on. They're tied with Cleveland now in that chase for the number 2 wild card spot. And the pitch is taken by Gardner for a strike. We're underway for our Tuesday night game. Brett Gardner, their center fielder, had a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. Orioles 29-year-old right-hander trying to get his first win against the Yankees this year with that 0-2 mark. 0-1 delivery, and the off-speed pitch will miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night, hitters came to swing. The Orioles did not issue a walk in the ball game, and the Yankees' 2 pitchers issued 1, and it was an intentional pass. 1-1 delivery by Gonzalez. Gardner will take it down low in the dirt, 2-1.
And a lot of that had to do with the approach only by Tillman. I mean, the home run to A-Rod, who's on deck. He got behind him. He got the count at 2-2. He hit the home run. Very few 3-2 counts. And then Sabathia kept them in the ball game, even though he maybe wasn't at his best, but still pitched extremely well. Just got out pitched.
Gardner will foul that one back. Pitch towards the outside part of the plate, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brett Gardner. Behind the plate tonight, we got Jim Joyce. He's the crew chief. You listen to those around Major League Baseball, players principally. Strike zone can tend to be fairly compact, and hitters sometimes get a little advantage in that regard when Jim's working the plate. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way to Gardner, and that's in on him, and he too will fight that one off.
Yeah, that's what Gardner thought about Ed Hickox, but got called out on a very close, and it could have gone either way. It went Tillman's way, start the game, and then later in the ball game, a ball that did appear off the plate. Wasn't really questionable, but another strikeout for Chris Tillman.
2 ball, 2 strike count coming from Gonzalez, and Gardner will take it, and that just missed. So a 3 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, there's the curveball. Doesn't throw it often. And again, if he just gets it over, he probably would have caused a very weak swing, but just outside off the corner.
So Gardner gets the first 3-2 of the ball game, and he laces it to right field. That's going to be on a hop to the wall. Markakis over to play it. Gardner with a great speed will go into second standing up, and the Yankees have a leadoff double.
Well, this is what he did up in New York against the Orioles. He led off 2 of the 3 games with doubles, 1 in the game that Nova beat him. So 3-2, you got to throw for more of the plate. And that's one of the problems getting there. And he's waiting. And he now has 33 doubles on the year.
And the greeting rendered to A-Rod, who delivered a home run in the ball game last night. So the Yankees start right out with a runner in scoring position. Last night 2 for 4, the RBI and a run scored. He's faced Gonzalez only a couple of times and is 0 for 2 against him. Big secondary lead, and he'll take the pitch for a strike. There's Geithner at second. Last night the Yankees ended up with the 2 for 8 in the ball game for the Orioles. The Yankees had none. That's how tough Tillman was as he went through the middle of that ball game, not allowing anybody on. So they never got a chance with a runner in scoring position in the ball game last night. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to be foul back as Gonzalez came in and got it off the fists on him. 1-1.
After the third inning, Chris got on one of those rolls, talking about Chris Tillman, 14 out of 15 till the changeup that Overbay hit, and that kind of greased the exit pads. If Tommy Hunter would come in and pitch really well. Johnson with a save in the ninth.
0-2 count and the delivery, and that'll be inside. For Miguel Gonzalez this season, first game against the Yankees, a loss, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 6. No decision game 2, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 7. Third game, no decision, 1 run, 4 hits, and 6. Last game against New York, a loss, 7 runs, 6 hits in the ball game in just 4 innings against the Yankees the last time out against them. 1-2. Hardy now holding the runner at second base. At least a little. And the 1-2 is swung on, foul tipped into the mitt for a strikeout.
Now, Alex Rodriguez is 38. He hadn't played a full season. Bat speed has gone down. So if you get ahead of him and you can go up in the zone, which is exactly, and this is like the we've seen now 3 times balls fouled off over the last 2 games. It actually looks that ball is maybe just nicked a little bit, and Matt Wieters able to catch it right into the glove. That's pretty important strikeout here.
Here is Robinson Cano. Had the 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Cano ending a 7-game hit streak with that 0 for. He's had a couple of hits in 15 at-bats against Gonzalez in his career, and always one of the tougher Yankee outs against the Orioles. Talking with Tony Pena today, speaking of foul tips, I was thinking of that. Pena, great catcher in his own time, talking about catching foul tips. I asked him today, where do you set your catchers up? He said, I want my guys closer than most catchers in baseball. Foul tips are easier to catch if you're closer to the batter. He said, catchers nowadays dig in like hitters. They stay in the same place no matter who's hitting. He said, I prefer catchers. If the guy's back in the box, you move back. If he's up in the box, you move up. So you keep those foul tips closer to the mitt. And he also said on breaking balls, if you stay back as a catcher, the further back you stay, the tougher it is for the pitcher to have a good curveball, because pitchers throw to the catcher, not to the plate. So if you get the catcher closer to the plate, he said, you're going to get those curveballs that are maybe going to bounce or be down low, but that's where you want them. You don't want them coming across the plate really in the strike zone.
No, and
that becomes a hanging curve.
Yeah, and the umpire is really schooled to call it not where you catch it, but where it actually goes across the plate in reference to the knees of the hitter.
John Russell works with Matt Wieters on that behind the plate for the Orioles. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that's going to be foul back. Cano got one he thought he could hit.
All right, take a look at the Oriole defense. 41 errors. The best fielding team in baseball. McLeod, Jones, Markakis, all Gold Glovers. Machado, Hardy, a Gold Glover. Roberts, Davis, and then Matt Wieters, a couple of Gold Gloves. His resume list behind the plate for the Orioles.
Cano's got that .335 career average against the Orioles. His 27 home runs against the Orioles are the most versus any team for him. Outfield, straight away and deep. Runner off second, 1 out. 1-2 pitch, foul back, and it'll stay at 1-2.
Yeah, one of the more amazing numbers to a lifetime 300 hitter, and that's Robinson Cano, is the 2 for 18 that somehow Miguel Gonzalez has been able to keep him at. I mean, that is an incredibly low number. It tells you when he's pitching well, and with a couple of exceptions, that's what he usually does against the Yankees. He makes his pitches. And again, the split finger, that's the one that goes straight down, change up, and then that's his strikeout pitch.
So we'll take the pitch, and it's going to be away. When we talk about the umpire, just so you know, when we say an umpire has a tendency to favor a pitcher or hitter or whatever, that's not anything in a vacuum. In fact, Buck Showalter posts not only the names of the umpires working the game, but the position they're umpiring and pictures of the umpires in the clubhouse on the board so the players know. And he expects the players to take a look at the numbers. on the home plate umpire for each and every game and get an idea of what the tendencies are. Those kind of numbers are available to the players, and it can matter. I mean, you go up there, and if you think you're going to get a chance as a hitter maybe to confine the strike zone a little, you're more willing to take a pitch than against an umpire whose strike zone may be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you certainly, when you pitch, know that. Some guys favor you, and depending on what kind of repertoire you have, if you're a high ball, low ball pitcher. Earl Weaver used to do it. It was kind of like a post office fugitive up on the wall, the 10 most wanted.
He probably viewed it that way, too. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Cano puts it out to center. Jones is there. Runner halfway. Gardner back to the bag. 2 down. Take a look at the series. It's been distinctively different in that as to where the games are played. At Yankee Stadium, Orioles 3-6. That .232 average, 3 runs a game, 4.56 starter ERA, good bullpen. Here at Camden Yards, they're 6-1. Look at the difference in the average from to .290. 14 homers, averaging 2.1 runs more per game here. Starter ERA down, bullpen ERA a little bit up. It's still very good. So the Yankees have had their problems here against the Orioles at Camden Yards this year. 2 down now with the runner at second is Soriano. So already in the first inning, the Yankees have had two more chances when the runner in scoring position they had the entire game last night.
Yeah, and this is one of their better guys at 395. I mean, Cano got him the line out 344. Gardner 360. The rest of the numbers pretty mundane, and of course he wasn't playing for him the last time they came in, so he's been a big acquisition. Really changed this offense.
He's had a home run off Gonzalez, who gets the strike in. Only 2 at bats, 1 for 2. The homer.
Yeah, that was
the starter.
That was the pitch that really kind of changed the game up in New York a couple of weekends ago. Miguel had a 1-0 lead, and he threw him a slider. It was up a little bit, and then Soriano, as he can, I mean, he slammed it to right field, 2-run shot.
Runner off second is Gardner, 1-1. And Soriano will lift it foul. 1-2.
Yeah, take a look at our Bloombergs, and this is what we're talking about. The 8:30 start, that was the one up in New York. A lot of line drives, and then all of a sudden the strike percentage goes up, the whiff goes up. Now the difference, of course, he pitched better. White Sox versus Yankees. Yankees a better offense, especially since Soriano joined them.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Gonzalez going to get out of the inning. It'll be up high. Reached back a little bit on the fastball, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, Tillman really kept Soriano off balance. He threw him changeups, he threw him curveballs, he threw the fastball by him. In fact, the whole Yankee team, as you mentioned, other than the 2 home runs, they just didn't know what was coming.
2-2 delivery on the way. Soriano will stay alive.
There's a splitter that just stays up enough. And the other thing about the split-fingered fastball, when you throw it well, first of all, the hitter doesn't, if it's thrown well, it's going to move. It's going to go down. You don't pick it up. It's a change of speed, maybe 7-8 miles per hour over your fastball. And that's why it can be so effective. But if you leave it up, it can speed up the bat.
23 pitches thrown so far to get 2 outs. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Gardner off second. Soriano chases one, and Gonzalez works his way through it. He gets 2 strikeouts. Gardner got the leadoff double, and that's right where he stays. Orioles lineup coming up. off if it'll help the Orioles win. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles in the ballgame tonight. It'll be Markakis, Machado, and Davis, Jones, Wieters, and McLeod, Hardy, Roberts, and Henry Urruti is going to get a chance at the DH. Nick, big night last night with a 3-for-4, double RBI, and a run scored.
And our scouting report on Ivan Nova. Well, ace-like, since July, it was 2-2 in July, but since August rolled around, pitcher of the month, 4-0, 2.08 ERA. He does own the Orioles, at least this season, 5-2 lifetime, but 2-0 with his last two starts. One a complete game, and the other one a complete game shutout. That was his last one, and then on the ground. He throws, perfect guy for here if he can keep the ball down. 172 balls put in play on the ground, 87 in the air. Perfect type of repertoire for Camden Yards, a fly ball haven for home run hitters.
Stands in, not having lost in his last 7, 4 wins, no losses, 3 no decisions over those last 7 ball games. Nick Markakis in the leadoff spot has got a 4-game hit streak, and Nova is ready to go. And Markakis will take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of movement with that fastball, and in New York in that complete game shutout, he wasn't missing that outside corner very often. Big, really quick curveball, very much like Chris Tillman of the Orioles.
0-1 delivery. That's an inside out to left field. Soriano's right there to put it away.
Take a look at the Yankees defense. Not quite as good, but third in the American League. Soriano, Gardner, and Suzuki. Great arm out and right. 10 straight gold gloves his first 10 years after coming over from Japan. Rodriguez, Nunez, Cano, Gold Glover. Mark Reynolds. The Orioles certainly know that he's a pretty good first baseman. And then Chris Stewart behind the plate after fouling that ball off his left foot. So he missed last night's game.
One down on a couple of pitches, and here is Manny Machado. Manny has got a 3-game hit streak coming in. He had a 1-for-3 in the ball game last night, and Nova's pitched to him. And Manny against Nova is 1-for-11. 1 strike count. A-Rod will play in close, even with the bag at third. Machado will take it for a ball.
So take a look at, and this is to me what against the season, this is what the league hits 146 and why he has so much success. 3 for 27 on curveballs, 111, and there it is.
Off the end of the bat.
So you got a couple of options. Some guys say on the breaking ball you move up in the box a little bit, but he does throw 93. In fact, his average fastball is 93. And the other thing is, until you get to 2 strikes, which you can't do here, you can look for it. And you just have some kind of idea to.
1-2, and is it held on to? Yes, it is. Good play made by Stewart. As Machado got a piece of that. That's just what we were talking about. Stewart close enough to the plate, so the ball ended up in the glove.
Yeah, now did it hit the dirt before it gets into his glove? That's the question, and very tough call for Jim Joyce. And then it looked like he got it.
He got it.
Yeah.
So a strikeout for Nova. Nova averages a little under a strikeout an inning. He's got 101 strikeouts in 113 2/3 innings worked this year. Doesn't walk many, 36. Chris Davis in the number 3 spot for the ball game tonight against the right-hander. Chris had an 0-for-4 in the game last night. He's trying to get out of an 0-for-11 as he stands in on this at bat. Nova the 1-0. And Davis will take it. It'll miss away.
Yeah, that's the pitch that he got up in New York, and you could see him kind of lean. It was like a golfer when you want to hit the green and you know it may not stay up. Maybe slicing too much. That ball ran off the outside corner.
You saw the shift put on against Davis, and Nova will pitch inside with it, and the count goes to 3-0. Davis with that 6 for 21 and 2 home runs off Nova will make Nova careful in working here. 3-0, 2 down. He'll have obviously green light if he gets one to hit, and didn't. So nothing there to swing at, and the first walk of the ball game goes to Chris Davis. That'll bring Adam Jones up with 2 away and a runner on at first base. Adam 7 for 32 lifetime off Nova, so it's not as though Nova now works to somebody a whole lot easier to get out. And Nova's lefty righty number is not much different. 258 lefties, 255 righties. He's been able to get just about everybody out.
And then he doesn't. As we showed you in our opening numbers, he only throws, what, 6 home runs? That's what the ground balls do.
2 down, runner on at first base. Jones, shattered bat ground ball to short. Nunez will go to second and just got Davis. Good hustle by Chris Davis, who almost able to get there ahead of the throw. Orioles will leave 1-on-1 complete. No score. Price is 2-4 with a 3.76 at home. Oakland's playing at Minnesota. The A's have won 6 of their last 8. Twins have lost 12 of their last 14. Kansas City's at Cleveland. The Indians tied with the Orioles. A game and a half behind that second wild card spot. They lead that season series 9-5. They've won 4 straight. Cleveland's got a 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning. The Indians with advantage in that series on the year.
Yeah,
so look.
Yeah, a lot of close races, obviously, and the Rangers, Oakland's got to feel pretty good because the Rangers aren't playing well. They've lost 4 out of 5.
And here's the shift being put on against Curtis Granderson, with Manny Machado moving from third base into right field. And the pitch will be taken up high. Granderson had an 0 for in the ball game and 0 for 4 last night. Oakland now leads Texas by a couple of games in the American League West for the division race. 1-0 pitch, and that's taken inside. And what Bud Selig and the owners wanted when they voted to have these wild card teams is happening. If you take a look around baseball, how many teams would just be out of it and playing to finish up rather than playing in races? Orioles are one of them. Yankees are another. These wild card teams in the American League wouldn't even be close if you didn't have a wild card team. You'd only have 2 races going on, the American League Central and the National League Central, if you didn't have the wild card. So it has made the difference that Major League Baseball hoped it would make. Hard and foul.
Yeah, 3-0, and Joe Girardi giving Curtis Granderson. He did add some drama to last night's game on that high fly ball to deep right center field with a tying. He would have been the tying run, and it just came down inside the ballpark. Adam Jones camped under it.
Granderson, the designated hitter, hitting .208 against the Orioles this year with 1 homer. 3-1. He goes right into the shift. A clear base hit otherwise. Becomes an out. 5-3.
Yeah, and you got your shortstop, actually your third baseman, but he came up as a shortstop playing with a very good arm. So it's a one hopper, but he is, I mean, he's closer to Nick Markakis than he is the infield. So again, I mean, Granderson gets down there, play right in front of him, and
it's a great strong arm of Machado that allows him to play so deep on that shift, and why he's out there. That's why Buck Showalter moves him around and puts him out in that position. Here's the former Oriole, Mark Reynolds, playing at first base. 3-game hit streak for Reynolds coming in, and he will foul that one off. for Mark against the former team, the Orioles. He's had a pretty good year, 294 here in this ballpark. Mark, a career 192 hitter with 28 home runs.
Well, that's what he gives them, and because of the Teixeira injury, the wrist injury, they needed somebody who was going to be overbay, but they need somebody to face lefties and occasional right-handers. Yeah, that's where Miguel's going to have to go. I mean, the pitch count already at 30. 23 in the first. Those are the numbers you were talking about, Gary, because he's a power guy. But you can start peppering that outside corner, getting ahead, strike one, and all of a sudden everything changes. It's a lot easier to pitch.
He's done a great job for the Yankees at the plate. He's hitting .286 with the Yankees. This is the 20th game that he's been involved in. He's had a couple of home runs, 12 RBIs, 5 doubles. So his bat has been what they hoped it would be when he was brought over. Much better average than his overall number this year of .225. 0-2 delivery to him. Gonzalez will be up high with it. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Reynolds with Ichiro waiting on deck. Well, the Orioles trying to continue a great run with their starters. Here at home, the Orioles starters have been almost unhittable since the end of August. Wieters took that one, and you can get a little break here.
Might have got the arm. The right arm. Yep. Yeah, well, he got the knee, the chest, and then the knee. Straight back.
Right over the top of the glove. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Home plate umpire Joyce giving Matt a moment. It's the only time home plate gets cleaned off anymore. Do you notice that? Used to be it was dusted like every 3 outs, 4 outs. Now it's only dusted when the catcher needs time. And that's okay.
Except in Kansas City, where they actually had a little air thing would pop up and just blow all the dirt off.
Dust away.
Did that scare Louis Aparicio to death? Oh, he jumped.
And the 1-2 delivery swung out and missed. 3 strikeouts for Gonzalez.
Now there it is. Outside third of the plate. Down. What are you trying to do? You're trying to throw your splitter and your slider off that low and away fastball. And boy, when you can locate, it's a lot easier to throw the other pitches and then maybe have some easy innings.
So going for the clean second inning. Gonzalez gets the first 2. That'll bring up Ichiro. He had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night.
Yeah, home run up in New York. He kind of ambushed Miguel after he had given up. Well, I mean, it was a succession of 6 out of 7 hitters. But he took a first pitch fastball and pulled it into the seats.
He's got 2 home runs lifetime off Gonzalez and fouls that one back.
Well, I can guarantee if you can pitch to the outside third of the plate, he's not going to do that. He, at his age, which is 39, and I mean, we're talking. I mean, you're looking at the first Asian that's going to go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's that good. I mean, 10 straight years of 200 or more hits, 10 straight Gold Gloves. But inside middle, he can still turn on the ball a little bit.
Good pitch. Gonzalez kept that down. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ichiro. Ichiro still has the all-time best batting average in this ballpark, hitting .371 lifetime here at Camden Yards, and that's 240 at bats. 1-2 delivery, and he got him by coming up at hand. So Gonzalez with 4 Ks, 2 in the inning, retires the side in order on a summer night at Camden Yards. $100 for being selected. You get 100 more for every Orioles hit during the game and an extra 500 for any Orioles home run in the 5th inning. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery Hit It Big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. Lots of folks on hand, families on hand to enjoy the game and the delicious treats. Here, Mom. We put that one back. Here's Matt Wieters. Matt McLouth and Hardy due up against Devon Nova. And first pitch ground ball to first base. Reynolds right there. And Wieters retired.
Yeah, it is really tough to try to pull that low and away sinker.
Buckle back up as the Orioles continue the series against the Yankees tomorrow and Thursday. Remember, it's a 4-game set. Birds in the hunt for the postseason berth. Time now to show your support in these great division games. 888-848-BIRD at Orioles.com for tickets for the post-game chase and the next 2 against the Yankees. Real good house on hand for the ball game tonight and back to the summer-like setting. Here's Nate McLouth. Nate did not play in the ball game last night and has a 2 for 11 lifetime against Nova. Nova gets it in there for a strike. 0-1 delivery to him. That'll be taken down low.
Yeah, he's a big kid. 20 out of the Dominican Republic, 26 years old. Has one of those really kind of loose arms. I mean, it's all at the end, almost like a whip.
1-1 delivery and no chance on that one as he kept it down and in. Here at Camden Yards for Nova, he's gone 2-0. It's his 4th. This is his 5th start and his 6th appearance here at Camden Yards. In 30 innings, ERA of 4.45, and overall the 5-2 mark against the Orioles. And that we put up in the air to left field. Soriano started in, but he'll back up and get there. And McLouth is retired 2 away. Take a look at our Chevrolet League leaderboard, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads, big numbers, end of the season close again. 19 games left to go, including this one for the Orioles. You see the total bases for American League teams. Not surprisingly, the Red Sox, Tigers, then the Orioles, Angels, and Rangers.
Yeah, the 3 run leaders in the American League. The Red Sox, the Tigers, and the Orioles. How about last night? Scherzer trying to win for the 3rd time, his 20th game. And Chris Sales beats him. Miguel Cabrera argues on a strike 1 on a check swing and gets thrown out.
Center field, Gardner will not have a play on that. And there's the first hit of the ball game for the Orioles. With 2 down, Hardy is on. Talking about 20-game winners, in recent times they've been hard to come by. 2012 was Gio Gonzalez, R.A. Dickey, David Price, and Jared Weaver. In 11, only Verlander, Kennedy, and Kershaw won 20. And in 2010, Holliday, Sabathia, and Adam Wainwright. So the number last year of 4 20-game winners in these times, a high number.
Yeah, this year Scherzer with 19, Tillman with 16, Matt Moore, the Rays back pitching, but he's got 15.
Not many starts left to go.
Yeah. Then you got Jordan Zimmerman with 16, Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals.
So there aren't going to be many in that list, if any. I mean, Scherzer's, you'd think, is going to get it done, but you never know. A couple more starts maybe for him. Or maybe one. You don't know if they want to skip him. They're going to go to the postseason. They already know it. Whether he gets skipped to start just to rest him. Hardy on at first base. 1-0 count, 2 down. Brian Roberts batting in the 8th spot at second base. Pitch away to it.
Yeah, you just have to hope that he gets into one of those hitters counts and actually gets the ball above the knees. And he really doesn't do that very often. And I mean, you could even see there enough movement. I mean, J.J. Hardy scored that ball up, but when you pitch to the outside portions of the plate, even pull hitters, it's hard for them to pull. He hit it right back up the middle for a single.
And the 2-0 delivery on the way, right to the glove of Reynolds. Right as he came off the bag. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. 2 complete, no score. Destination for culinary adventure, from their fresh local seafood to an array of Zagat-rated restaurants. You can learn more by visiting SavorSarasota.com. If you're a real baseball fan, you might want to check out the instructional league games that are going to be played in Sarasota. Only about 15 minutes from that beach on Siesta Key right there. Instructional league games this year with a lot of ball clubs sending some players there. Good players.
Yeah, I grew up, went to high school in Arizona, Scottsdale, and I'd be out eating with my parents. I could always tell the bonus kids. They all dressed nice. They all had nice cars. And then because of that, and I always dreamt of being a baseball player, I would actually go down to Scottsdale Stadium and see them play when I was about 15.
It's a very relaxed atmosphere.
Really
it's
is.
really fun. You watch. There's some instruction that's going on, which is kind of fun to see.
Well, for the I mean, a lot of they're about 8 o'clock in the morning till the sun goes down, and if you're an A, you want to go to Double A. And
Eduardo Nunez going after the first pitch. Roberts backing up. Jones coming in. Jones calls for it, and one pitch, and Nunez is retired. One away, third inning. Text Masson's word of the day: oil. OIL to 29292 for your chance to win a lunch with Adam Jones, presented by Jiffy Lube. Change more than your oil. Help change a life. Drive into Jiffy Lube and support the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Adam patrolling center as always for the Orioles. That'll bring up Stewart batting ninth. Chris Stewart, their catcher. Adam Jones, by the way, is one of the Orioles' 6 players who's played over 130 games. Both he and Manny Machado top the list in games played for the Orioles.
He played them all last year.
Ground ball up the middle. Jones will have to play this one, but it's a base hit.
So now what? Let's see. He comes in at 215, but against the Orioles, whole different story. Now 7 for 19. So he's up around 350.
So with one away, Stewart gets on their second hit of the ball game. And the top of the order, Gardner coming up. He had a double his first time up. There are only 6 teams with players who've had 130 games have 4 or more of them. The Reds, the Orioles, both have 6 who's played 130. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and the Giants have 4 who have played 130 games or more this season. You got to stay healthy. You got to have a little luck in order to get to those numbers, as well as being real good. And the pitch will be taken by Gardner, who doubled his first time up.
Yeah, he's just able, because of his speed, to work counts where he's become, even though I always thought he was a slap hitter, but the 8 home runs, career high, the 33 doubles, a career high. And then they used to, when he was healthy, year before last, 46 stolen bases. This year, 23 of them.
1-0 count. Gardner will take it, and it will miss. 2-0. By the way, Dustin Pedroia leads the league in games played with tonight's game 145. Billy Butler, Kansas City, he'll have 145 tonight, as will Fielder with the Tigers. Then Machado and Jones and Robinson Cano all have 144. They're the leaders in games played in the American League. 2-0 count on Gardner. Gardner with a 4 for 10 lifetime off Gonzalez. He'll take the pitch. Couldn't get the bat off the shoulder that time.
Yeah, it wasn't what he wanted to hit. And boy, when you're out there, Miguel said, please swing at that pitch. I'm behind. I made a great pitch. But he goes, nope, I'm too hot. Not chasing that till I have to. And that's what hitting's about.
Well, Gardner gets the count to 2-1. Stewart not going anywhere at first base, being held by Davis. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss. Gardner's had a very good eye here. He does anyway, but in his first 2 at-bats, he's watched and let some close pitches go by and gotten the call, and the count again will go to 3-1 on him. Miguel Gonzalez with the 4 strikeouts, no walks, 46 pitches thrown.
Well, 12 for his last 34 coming in, so now 13 for 35, and must be doing this a lot, getting into those hitters' counts.
3-1 delivery, takes it to left field. McLeod over, and he's got it. Line drive. 2 down. Stewart back to first base. Help the Orioles. Sinai Hospital and Care First. Support a great cause. Save with the American Heart Association's exclusive 50% off ticket offer, including the upcoming Blue Jays series. Visit Orioles.com/AHA now. Receive 50% off tickets by donating $10 to the American Heart Association for each ticket purchase. That's at Orioles.com/AHA. Rodriguez struck out his first time up. Two down now with a runner at first base, and Rodriguez will tap it just foul. Leaders get it up in a hurry, and that ball might roll out into fair territory. So Rodriguez batting second in the lineup, something he has done very little of, as you would expect in his career. He did a good job batting second last night. It was the first time he hit second since August of '06 in a game against the Angels. But his bat's been pretty good of late, getting on base. And right now, Girardi's trying to clump those hitters who are getting on together at the top of the order. Ball's going to go to the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. On the run is Stewart. Stewart will make the turn. He's going to be waved home. Throw will come in. Hardy's going to go to the plate. Weeder's there, not in time. And it pays off again, batting in second. A-Rod with a double and an RBI and a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I don't know how good a golfer is, but that's what he does on looked like a fastball. I mean, it's down the middle. So last night, fastball away, homer to right center. This one he drives it up the gap, and they're kind of playing him about straight away. So long time and a little bit closer than I thought, even though Stewart certainly beats it by a margin, or at least a wide margin.
So Rodriguez gets RBI number 12 on the season. He's closing in on hitting 300 in the games he's played, his 31st game. And the Yankees get the early lead on their third hit of the ball game. Here's Cano, flied out to center. His first time up. So Gonzalez touched up for a run on 3 hits so far in the ball game. Robinson Cano, 344 with runners in scoring position on the year. Looking for his first hit in this particular series, 0 for 5. How's that for not moving the bat off his shoulder?
Well, we see him, and I always thought, we got a number of guys that take the first pitch. I thought he'd be up there, and he's not even in the top 10. I just think sometimes, of course, when you're as gifted as he is, lifetime 300-plus hitter, and you can see those are the numbers this year, which are usually, as you mentioned, Gary, lower to 306 with a 3-home run. But he's going to hit on his terms. I mean, you don't get him to get himself out. You really have to make good pitches, quality pitches.
0-1 delivery to him, shot down the line the other way, foul. He comes into the day ranked 6th in average and tied for 5th in runs batted in the American League for Cano.
And you saw the way Tillman pitched him last night. And again, he was 3 quality pitches, all crisp. Change up the first time, curveball the next 2 times. Even though he intermingled some fastballs to get to 2 strikes and get him to bounce out to the right side twice on the hooks.
Gonzalez has it in his favor. 0-2 count, A-Rod off second. And Cano again will spank that one the other way. We have 3 of the top hitters against right-handers in this ball game tonight in Davis, Cano, and Jones. They're all up there among the top 10 against righties. Adam ranked 7th, Davis ranked 4th. Pretty good numbers. Davis 328, 313, Jones 321, Robinson, Cano against the righties.
Yeah, the guy that kind of tells you what kind of year he's having to be able to do that is Adam Jones against righties.
0-2 count again. And Cano, little chopper. Hardy, who is playing back, will charge. He's got time, and nice work at first base by Davis. Had to make the stretch, but he did. Yankees get a run and a couple of hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Yankees up 1-0. for this year. The schedule for next year is out. And highlighting, opening day is going to be here against the Red Sox on March 31st. Day off, then 2 more games against Boston. Then they'll go on the road. Interleague, they got Pittsburgh, Washington, Cardinals, Reds at home. On the road, they got Pittsburgh, Washington, Milwaukee, and Chicago. 18 of the 28 in May are on the road, and 17 of the 27 in June are at home. The highlight noted by Buck Showalter when he was talking about the schedule today was Chicago. Because the Orioles are going to go there and play both Chicago teams in one road trip. Ingenious. They play 3 against the White Sox, have a day off on Thursday, and then play 3 against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. That'll be later in the season in August. Buck's comment was, better have a good hotel for that one.
And they do.
And they do. So he was looking at that. Look out Rush Street, Thursday night off in Chicago. Holy cow, Harry. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that'll be pushed down the line in left field. Urrutia will stay alive as Soriano could not get there to make the play.
Yeah, I'm surprised the way, I mean, all the spray charts on Henry Urrutia, unless you watch him in batting practice, I mean, he put on a exhibition of the long ball today. You can see hits by direction. So Alfonso pretty deep in left and kind of straight away, which I'm a little surprised. I think he's kind of moving over a couple of steps now. Otherwise, that would have probably something he could have camped under for the first out here in the third.
So Urrutia with a 1-ball-2-strike count. Nova's pitch to him is swung on and missed. Nova gets his second strikeout, 1 down, 3rd inning. Markakis and Machado coming up.
Well, the sky hook, and this is what he does so well. And you get a young hitter. When you see too many curveballs like that. Again, remember the average, league average, 146 against the Orioles. The curveball, they've hit it at 111 this year.
11th career start, 12th appearance against the Orioles. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Manny Machado, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Coming back off the DL for Nova has made all the difference. I mean, he had a problem with the right tricep inflammation. And it was struggling before then, got that taken care of, and then just come back and just been great for the Yankees.
Yeah,
1 ball, 1 strike.
Last year, Gary, as you know, I mean, he struggled ERA over 5 runs a game because of extra base hits. So this year, if you wanted a guy, wanted a young pitcher, this is kind of what you would like. Strike thrower, sinker baller, keeps the ball in the ballpark. There's his pitching coach, Larry Rothschild. Over the last 7 starts, as you mentioned, 4-0. So Larry's gets to relax a little bit.
That's possible this time of year. Yeah. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. And a chopper, short. Nunez, nice play. So Markakis retired on the ground ball by Eduardo Nunez. Voting still open at Orioles.com/fanshirt for you to vote on the fan designated t-shirt to be given away Thursday, September 26th to the first 10,000 fans 15 and over at the Jays game. These 3 finalists selected. Top vote getter gets 4 tickets to the game. Have their t-shirt reproduced, handed out to fans as they enter. Voting will continue through tomorrow night. That's at Orioles.com/fanshirt. Go online, take a look at them, cast your ballot. And pitch taken inside. Manny Machado, 2 down, nobody on. Manny struck out his first time up, now 1 for 12 off Nova. A-Rod had to wait for it to come down. Baltimore chopping, another nice play. So Nova retires the side in order. That's 3 innings done here in game 2 of this 4-game set. Yankees up 1-0. Miguel Gonzalez started the ball game out, getting Rodriguez in the first inning and Soriano. Would come back in the second inning, add 2 more. Former Oriole Mark Reynolds would get down, Ichiro down. Now 4 Ks in the ball game for Gonzalez.
Yeah, Nova's got a couple, but Nova's got the lead. You get the feeling when you pitch against Ivan Nova when he's towing it up against the Orioles. Those last 2 games, both complete games, 1 a shutout. Not a lot of room or a lot of margin for error.
Orioles with the 9-7 edge in the series on the season. Orioles are trying to win their first season series against the Yankees in 15 years. Gonzalez works against Soriano. Ground ball down to short. Hardy long throw. Right on the money. And again, hitters on both teams coming up swinging. Our PNC Minor League Report is brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, we've heard much about Mike Wright, the Jim Palmer Minor League Pitcher of the Year award winner.
Well, they saw a lot of him in spring training. He pitched in some of the games that we did on Madison, and they like him. He's a big kid. He throws a lot of strikes. You can see right there, almost a strikeout per innings. Not a lot of walks. Throws the ball. He's got a sinker. Ground balls. Camden Yards. Could be magical.
And a strike on the outside corner to Granderson. Curtis Granderson, the designated hitter. 1 for 12 lifetime off Gonzalez now. Shift on against him. 0-1. He had one of those clean base hits, but for the fact the third baseman was playing in right field. And grounded out to Machado, who's out there again.
Yeah, welcome to the modern day shift. That's what Ted Williams went through, though.
1-1 delivery. Wonder whether it ought to be called a 4-3 because he's playing in a position normally occupied by second baseman, or do you just go with he's a third baseman, so it's a 5-3?
I go 4-3 because then if you're keeping your scorecard, it tells you what direction of the field it was.
True.
Only if you care.
1-2 delivery, and that's going to have to be played by Wieters to Davis. A strikeout and a 2-3, and that's the 5th strikeout for Gonzalez.
Now that was a nice little play. Great splitter. Miguel Gonzalez looking for an easy inning, and this is going to help. 1 pitch to Soriano, and he throws a splitter in the dirt. Easily could have gotten by. And right here, I mean, you can see, and he just kind of blocks it, pounces on it, gets the good angle. Second out.
Both these pitchers on so far in this ball game. Here's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds, a strikeout victim his first time up. 2 down, nobody on. And Reynolds will take it for a strike. In the ball games against the Yankees this year by Miguel Gonzalez, he has struck out 4, 5, 4, and none. And he is up to 5 already in this ball game. 0-1. Late swing. He had a double clutch, and it's going to go off the glove of Davis, and Reynolds is on. Shift was on, so Davis was the closest over there. Couldn't handle.
Yeah, anytime you got to go that far and you have to backhand the ball if it comes up, and that's what this one does. You got the heel of the glove, and it almost gets him in the wrist. So it is very, very different. I would imagine because it was hit softly, they may give him an error, but it was not an easy play.
So the error charged on Chris Davis. It'll be his 5th of the year. And for the Orioles, a leading low 42 errors. It does, however, keep the inning open. And Ichiro up, a strikeout victim his first time up. 2 down. And that'll go to center. Jones coming. Hardy out. Hardy there, and he'll put it away. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. I'm waiting. Chapin Davis Investments. Chapin Davis providing investments that can produce income for your retirement plan. Call to learn more, 1-800-222-3246 or at chapindavis.com. And by Blimpie. Get the most out of your money with Blimpie's $5 deals. Choose from 4 of your Blimpie favorites. Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Good pitching duel. And crowds focused on the postseason chances of the Orioles, and for the Yankee fans the same. Nova, ground ball towards the middle, and Davis has got a base hit. So Chris Davis muscles one up the middle for a leadoff single.
Yeah, and Ivan Nova thought about bare-handing it. One hit really hard, but because of the shift, nobody playing there. Cano had to chase it all the way into center field. You see, trying to get it inside middle, couldn't reach it. Probably a good thing because balls do hurt.
So there's the first leadoff batter to reach the Orioles. It's been a problem for Nova this year. He's retired only 61% of leadoff batters. Kind of hard to believe that with all the success he's had. But
I would imagine, though, because of that sinker ball and the ability to throw the ball on the ground, that you don't want to do that, but he at least has a chance to throw grounders and get double play balls.
Jones will take it inside. Jones on a fielder's choice his first time up. Orioles no runs, 2 hits. Yankees a run on 3.
I mean, Ivan Nova has got to feel pretty comfortable only because, I mean, this is Camden Yards. It is his team that leads the major leagues in home runs and 3rd in runs scored. But the Orioles have not done anything really to any great extent over the last 2 starts to make him feel any urgency that he's ever in trouble. I mean, it's been those kind of games. One was a 9-inning 2-run game, and the last one was a 3-hit shutout.
1 ball, 1 strike, short lead at first. Adam Jones could not hold up on that. A pitch way outside in the end, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Adam in the top 10 in runs with 4th, RBIs 4th, hits 5th. He's tied for 4th now in home runs and 8th in slugging. So the Orioles center fielder continuing to put up some very impressive offensive numbers. Trying to move Davis at first base. 1-2. Nova really jammed him on that one. Nunez off the mark. Jones is in there. It'll be a fielder's choice, and Nunez took a pretty good clip from Davis as he came across the bag. Still made a good throw.
Yeah, he figures the only way I'm going to be able to get it, and this is what you're talking about right there, that left shoulder gets his right knee. He gets out of the way. I mean, there you go. It's a double play. It's a fair game. Certainly not dirty by any means. And that's the way the game's played.
Good job by Davis. So it puts the runner on at first base. Jones now with 1 away.
How about Robinson Cano? He's probably thinking, hey, I'm sure glad he took it by himself. That could have been me.
Glad he didn't shovel that over to me.
With my back to him.
Better you. Here is Matt Wieters. Wieters grounded out his first time up. And that is in there for a strike. The 21 homers and 70 RBIs for the Orioles catcher. Right-handed 278, left-handed 212. 11 home runs from this side of the plate, 1 more than the other way. Long hold, trying to freeze the runner. Wieters will follow it back into the screen. You take a look at all the great catchers, the most consecutive seasons with 20 or more home runs and 120 games played. In the American League, you got Yogi Berra at the top, Jorge Posada, Lance Parrish, the great Bill Dickey, Ivan Rodriguez, and Matt Wieters. So Yogi's at the top in games played, getting those homers and RBIs. Noting that for a catcher because it's so hard because of the physical toll it takes in the course of a year.
And then Yogi would play in all those postseasons. It's got like
one for each hand.
Yeah, well, he does. Yeah, but that's some of those were as a Met.
Ground ball, that's going to go to third. A-Rod was playing that way. Wow, long shovel. And not going to get him at first base.
What was that?
Instead of coming over the top, A-Rod lateraled the ball to Cano at second base, and he didn't have a chance to get it to first.
Well, he's playing off the line, so it's a little bit closer than you may think. But that's a long way. And just very unusual, unorthodox way to try to turn a double play. And so Matt, full speed.
So a couple of double play chances the Yankees unable to get because of the Orioles hustling.
Well, and the other part of it, we saw Davis slide Adam Jones, very much like guys that I played with, Don Baylor, Frank Robinson, even Reggie Jackson. Boy, you better get the ball and get out of harm's way, or you could get injured.
So Nate McLouth will get his at bat, flied out, showed bunt. He too has got a bit of a shift on in the infield. A-Rod now is going to cheat back in a little bit. They're playing him to pull. A-Rod was over more towards short on that first pitch. When he showed bunt, though, Rodriguez came back towards third about 3 steps and in a couple. Here's the 0-1 delivery. McLouth will take it. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Runner at first, 2 down. The Yankees have the 1-0 lead on an RBI double by Rodriguez in the 3rd inning. Weeder's on at first. His former teammate Mark Reynolds. On the 1-1, that'll miss. 2-1.
See, those are the good takes. It's not a curveball, which is hard to hit. I showed you about the 111 average for the O's. But it is a sinker, and what he wants you to do is swing at the ball down in the zone. If you try to bring it up, and I'm sure there's Jim Presley, Oriole hitting instructor, saying, hey, make him bring the ball up. He didn't do that very often in New York. That's why he pitched the shutout.
2-1 delivery. He doesn't bring it up, misses again, and he goes to 3-1.
So now, by taking those 2 pitches, he has to bring the ball up. We saw it with Brian Roberts. He hit a screamer, but right at Reynolds. That was on a 2-0 pitch. So what the Orioles are trying to do is to force him to not pitch for his strength, but to their strength. Ball's up in the middle of the plate.
3-1 delivery on the way. McLouth will chop that one to second base. Cano will go to the bag himself. And that will do it here in the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Remains 1-0 Yankees. Orioles had a 1-0 lead, and tends to happen, Jim, when you get into these playoff races. The ball games all of a sudden get very compacted, and you see some good pitching.
Well, you really do, and I think Chris Davis probably talked about it, leading the American League, the major leagues in home runs. He said everybody tries a little bit too hard because everybody wants to win. But with that in mind, if you're Miguel Gonzalez, you had a 23-pitch first inning. You've given up 1 run, very much in this game. But the Orioles have a 9-man bullpen, so kind of a little bit max effort. Try to keep it where it is. It's only a 1-run deficit. And the Orioles have to do what they haven't been able to do in their last 2 starts, somehow figure out how to get to Ivan Nova.
And if they can't get to him, at least try and work some pitches, because if there is an underbelly to the Yankees right now, it's the fact their bullpen's depleted of regular bullpen members.
Yeah, well, guys are coming back. I mean, Sean Kelly had the tricep. He pitched an inning. I saw Dave Robertson. He said he's getting better, but that doesn't mean he's going to be at full strength. And then Mariano Rivera, even though he was available, he had a couple of tough outings against the Red Sox over the weekend.
So the 1-0 ball games move. This one moves into the 5th inning and a strike taken. Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, batting 8th. Stewart and then Gardner due up against Gonzalez with no walks, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's had some nice numbers against the Orioles. 6 for 14. They popped up the first pitch that Miguel threw him. This time he's going to wait a little bit longer.
Nunez here at this ballpark, only a 200 hitter in his career coming into the ball game. Played a good shortstop for the Yankees. Derek Jeter with the ball club, but out, not playing with that ankle bothering him. Whether or not he'll get back to play again this year remains just a question mark. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Nunez will take it away.
Yeah, and even when Jeter couldn't answer the bell early in the year, the problem for Eduardo was that he had that oblique pull. So he missed some times, and there is Derek Jeter.
One-two delivery on the way, and that will miss down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count from Gonzalez.
Gary, he really looks like one of those really good high ball hitters. So again, if you get deeper in the count, it was 0-2. Now it's 2-2. It's harder to pitch where you want him, and even there, I guess he got him in the foot. Wieters goes in, he goes it away, and almost gets an out.
Nunez coming into the year, a 272 career major league hitter. He's been a little bit below that this year at 256. He's been a backup player for the Yankees. He's 26 years old now, and question of what his position is going to be with the Yankees in the future, as is true for a lot of Yankees. 2-2 delivery, and inside on him. He will foul that one off. Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brian Cashman traveling with the ball club. Their GM on the field with Joe Girardi before the ball game today, as the Yankees try desperately to hang on and keep their wild card postseason hopes alive. Girardi's ball club now 76-68. 3 out of the wild card spot. The Orioles just a game and a half out, tied with Cleveland. That's going to be a base hit into center field. Jones coming on to get it. So Nunez is on with a leadoff single here in the 5th. Tune into the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow, 5 to 6:30. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson. They'll have a preview of tomorrow night's game, and Mel Anton will profile baseball's top rookie pitchers. That's all coming your way tomorrow at 5, right here on Massa. Red Sox Tampa, no score in the 4th inning. Cleveland KC tied 1-1 in the 5th.
And we saw a lot of these situations in New York, and Chris Stewart became a guy that would sacrifice. Because if you're Joe Girardi, you don't need to get Nova a whole lot of runs the way he's been pitching.
In at third base is Manny Machado playing for the bunt. 6 have been laid down by Stewart. He is second on the team in sacrifices this year. Brett Gardner, their leader, 1 ahead.
Well, you got one of your hottest hitters on deck, and Brett Gardner, and stay out of the double play.
Good lead for Nunez. He's running and down to third and foul. So Girardi trying to cross it up a little bit with the infield playing for a bunt.
Yeah, the only guy that really moved was Brian Roberts covering second base. So everybody knew what their assignments were, and the hit and run is where somebody's going to cover, and that ball was in, though, so Stewart couldn't steer it to second base.
Here's Stewart looking over again. He wants the signs, I think, again. See whether or not the bunt was on.
Yeah, most managers will not give you an out in the 5th inning in the American League with the DH, but again, you go back to the way Nova is 4-0 with a 2.0 ERA. It'd be nice to get him another run.
Robbie Thompson has passed the sign on from his third base coaching box. It is a bunt, and it's a bad one. Foul back over the screen. So now the count goes to 2 strikes on Stewart.
Yeah, bad news, he didn't get it down. The good news is he popped it foul. See the angle. See how the bat head goes below the handle? You like to be able to keep the handle always lower than the bat head. It gives you a better angle. Allows you to kind of just get it out in front of home plate. That was more of a jab.
So now the infield will back up, and they look for the ground ball to get the double play off Stewart. He's had a left foot problem, so not at full speed. 0-2 delivery. That'll be in the dirt. Matt Wieters will scoop that one up on the hop. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Stewart. Nunez still looking over there. See whether or not they might want him running here.
Yeah, the one pitch, and it's usually a great double play pitch, is your slider. And last year, that's what Miguel used. This year, through almost 17% sliders. This year, it's down to 10. Hasn't been a pitch he really trusts.
1-2 delivery is foul back. Runner not going, so keeps the at bat alive. And there've been a lot of these at bats with foul balls with Miguel Gonzalez tonight. That's why he's up to 71 pitches. Nunez intently looking at Robbie Thompson. Who's stealing the signs tonight? Who could it be?
Everybody that can.
Oh,
that's the name of the game. It was like the first time it happened last night. It really wasn't that. It was just the way that Girardi was talking to Bobby Dickerson in third.
1-2 delivery and a little half swing pop up. Roberts back. And Bryant will get there and put it away. Stewart is retired. 1 down, 5th inning. That'll bring Brett Gardner up with a runner at first. Double in the first inning, flied out in the third. The Yankees 4 hits. The Orioles have 2. The Yankees have had a couple extra base hits by Gardner and Rodriguez, and Rodriguez got the RBI in his double. The Orioles have 2 singles by Hardy and Davis.
Yeah, Miguel Gonzalez did a terrific job getting out of that first inning unscathed after the leadoff double by Gardner. Nobody could move him up. A couple of strikeouts and a line out.
In at third base, Manny Machado again to recognize Gardner's speed. Wieters thought about throwing to first, and it hit the knee.
Yeah, it was a perfect pitch to throw on because if you're Eduardo Nunez, you can't really see him receive the ball. He was going to throw behind Gardner and then couldn't get a handle on it.
He's asking for the signs again from Robbie Thompson at third.
Go if you can make it.
Run like the wind, my young man. Nunez has picked up 9 stolen bases and 12 chances. Now Machado moves way in, and the pitch will be taken down low. So Gardner gets ahead on the count 2-0. Manny Machado came in a couple steps further after that first pitch. Gardner's not shown bunt. Gonzalez only had a couple of base stealers against him, 2 for 5. Wieters still throwing him out 37% of the time. That one is going to go to right field in Markakis. Perfect position. 2 down. Back goes Nunez to first. Fan Appreciation Week begins on Tuesday, September 24. Orioles begin the final homestand regular season against the Blue Jays and Red Sox. This week will be capped off Sunday, September 29. First 25,000, 15 and over. Get the Chris Davis AT&T Fans Choice bobblehead. Buckle back up. Get your tickets in advance and save. The royal welcome afforded A-Rod again as he stands in. He's had a double RBI and has struck out. Runner at first, 2 away.
So now 3 for 6. Maybe if you cheer him, they'll make it out.
Ball, towering pop-up down the line. A very long run for Markakis and Roberts. They both get there, and Markakis puts it away. The country mile on that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Leadoff single left stranded. 1-0 Yankees. Tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit-It Big contestant of the game will receive $500 for any Orioles home run. Ronald Taylor, you've won $700 so far. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery Hit-It Big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles. Real good ball game underway here. Nova 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Gonzalez no walks and 5 Ks. 26-year-old right-hander, 8-4 on the year, 2-0 against the Orioles this year, 5-2 lifetime. And Hardy leading it off. Hardy had a single. First time up. Hardy, Roberts, Urrutia the DH batting ninth. 0-1 delivery, and JJ takes it down the line in left field. It is curving, and it is a foul ball in the corner.
Like I said, you don't get many balls up. That was one of them, but it was in just enough. Couldn't keep it fair.
It's been able to get 1 home run off Nova. Part of the 8 for 31 that he has against him. Very efficient so far for Ivan Nova. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Hardy takes outside.
Yeah, you think you got something going last inning. You get a leadoff hit by Chris Davis and then 3 ground balls. That's what the sinker does.
1-2 to Hardy, and that one sinks into the ground. Did not go around on it, says Jeff Nelson. The Orioles are trying to win this season series against the Yankees. If they could get the win tonight, they'd be 10-7. They'd do it. Orioles have not won a season series against the Yankees since 1997. 97.
That's the year they went wire to wire.
Over the other years, they've lost or tied 2 of them. Towards the hole, Nunez. You got to be kidding. Off the mark, can't get him. Good try. Tried the intentional bounce to first base, but Hardy will get an infield single, and he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, they play him to pull, and he's got terrific range, or he doesn't even get to this ball. What, 3 steps after already being in a pull position? But you're right about just the snap throw. You do it on turf. Do it when you can't really get much on it. Tremendous effort.
So you see the smile over there. You get the feeling Reynolds probably talking about JJ's speed beating out these infield hits.
Everybody's talking about it lately.
Here's Brian Roberts, except JJ.
Yes,
that's right. Roberts lined out his first time up. Right to Reynolds at first. In at third, A-Rod. And the pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike.
They may be discussing the 3-run home run he hit in a 7th-run inning to right field, because Mark Reynolds probably said, "I've never seen you do it," and JJ said, "I never had."
And smiled.
Oh, yeah.
0-1 count. Rodriguez still playing bunt. Not bunting. Goes into right field for a base hit. Played by Ichiro, and the Orioles get their first chance at the beginning. First 2 on here in the 5th with nobody out. When the Orioles win, everyone wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Enter promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's.
Well, you got to know your players, and I'm not sure if Buck knows Henry or Urrutia well enough to put the sacrifice on.
Urrutia has had only 55 at bats with the Orioles up and down this season. Orioles looking at a defense playing the bunt, in at first and third. Nobody out, 2 on. Urrutia will take the pitch. It's an ideal defense for where he hits the ball.
Exactly.
He hits the ball to the shortstop between short and third, that 5.5 hole, and there is nobody remotely close to that.
Well, I can tell you right now, there's no advanced scout for the Yankees that have ever seen Henry Urrutia bunt. So I think they're out of position myself. I would be playing a little deeper and creeping in, because I don't think this is going to be a bunt situation.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to him, and he goes right towards that hole. A-Rod can't get it. Nunez does. And he gets away, and a run will score. Reynolds sliding to get it. It's got no play anywhere. Hardy will score. Ball game tied as Urrutia put it slowly towards short.
Well, there's the swinging bunt. It's another way of getting them over and in, because they throw it away. if you're playing a little deeper and you're Alex Rodriguez, you probably catch this ball. I mean, you could see good sinker down and away, but he can't get to it. Snap, quick throw, and then not even close by Reynolds. Throws so far out in front of plate. Here comes J.J. Hardy right there. We saw him a great base running play last night, go from second to third on a throw from Alex Rodriguez across the diamond. There's another one. Tie it up.
So the Orioles get a run in. It is now tied at 1. 2 in scoring position. Here's Nick Markakis. 0 for 2 tonight. And the pitch taken up high. Uridia will be credited with a base hit. The error will allow the run to score and move the runners up. No RBI on that.
Well, Gary, they had the page on the wall, and right here, second and third, nobody out. Hit the ball to the right side. If you do it twice, you'll get 2 runs here.
1-0 delivery to him. First opportunity for the Orioles with a runner in scoring position on that at-bat by Uridia.
You have to get a ball to hit to the right side.
And he can put the ball to the right side. 2-0 count. Nova's pitch, and that'll be in there for a strike. Well, the Yankees committing a costly 62nd error of the season. And the Orioles really opens the inning up as Nunez just threw that one away. And again, that defense, the way it was aligned, helped create that error. 2-ball, 1-strike delivery. And it'll be punched to left field. Runner's going to tag. Soriano's got it. Here's the throw coming to the plate. Cut off! Cut off by A-Rod. It'll be a sac fly. Stewart standing at the plate like, what did you do that for?
Well, I'm sure it's kind of hard to hear, cut it or not. Still got his hands on his hip, Chris Stewart. Soriano makes a nice play because he charges the ball. I mean, it's just a line drive to left. I mean, 1.5 step. Doesn't have a great arm, but this ball is going to be very close. Now, maybe A-Rod thinks, and it looks like it's going to be up the line, but, boy, you'll never know.
Soriano not happy with it either. With A-Rod just cutting that ball off. He, as Jim said, you're listening for the catcher to holler, cut, cut. Maybe couldn't hear. I suspect he didn't call cut, cut. In fact, I know he didn't by his reaction. The Orioles take a 2-1 lead. RBI. Picked up by Nick Markakis. That's his 55th RBI. And Nick now has 8 sacrifice flies on the season.
You know, I saw last night the Orioles got 2 of those. I mean, last night it was stolen bases. It was sacrifices with sacrifice flies, small ball. That's only the second time they've done it all year long with 2 sacrifice flies or more. It seems low. It just not. And this is a great offensive ball club.
Orioles have 27.
Yeah, here comes Cano along with Stewart. Nova can't speak English even though he comes from the Dominican Republic. They're just trying to settle him down because he really hadn't been hit very hard this inning, but he trails.
The Nova got to regroup and work on the hitter with a runner at second base and 1 out, 2-0 lead after the Markakis sac fly. Other runs scored in the air, 2 in the inning.
I mean, Robinson Cano might have said, let him hit it to me.
And obviously some displeasure by Stewart, Nova, Soriano with the play made or not made by Rodriguez at third base. 2-0 count. Long look back. And a chopper that's going to be a fair ball in the grass. Played by Stewart. He'll go to first for Reynolds and record the out. Uridia will move over to third base. And there are 2 down. So Manny Machado on a little chopper that just stayed fair.
Well, he may have been looking for the curveball, but normally you don't. I think he's just upset the ball stayed fair. 2-0, usually take that pitch because it was a good curveball. It was a pitcher's pitch and a hitter's count.
He's not happy about something, and the home plate umpire's looking right at him.
Well, it was 2-0.
Taking a walk over there.
I mean, he couldn't be happy with the count because it was 2-0.
And you saw Buck saying, "I got it." I think sent Manny down. There comes Manny again out of the tunnel. That's where they go to crack bats, slam bases, throw baseballs, hit their head against the wall. So it can't be seen. Drilled! Davis! Way back! And goodbye! Home run! Number 49 for the Major League leader in homers.
Not only that, the 7th home run he's hit against New York this year. That was about a 420-foot line drive. Hanging curveball. Hadn't made too many mistakes, and you do not want to do it to Chris Davis. Launch time.
Davis gets his 3rd career home run against Nova, and the Orioles jump out to a 4-1 lead in the ball game as Davis got all of that one. And Jones will foul it back. There you see top 3 home run seasons since '54. With Brady Anderson having the 50, Davis now at 49, and Frank Robinson in '66 had 49. The all-time leader since the Orioles have moved to Baltimore. And that'll be outside. So this inning has been one where the Orioles have taken advantage of the miscue and probably the misplay by Rodriguez, and then a little upset concern by Yankee players, and the Orioles have jumped on them before the Yankees could regroup.
Now, it's still only Nova's 4th year, so he did not get hit hard. There's been a lot of quality at bats. Hardy started it off by pulling a ball into the hole, and then to me, one of the key bats is Brian Roberts looking for a ball he could hit into right field, holding Hardy on, and he was able to do that. And then all of a sudden, we get a little bit lucky in the errors.
2-1 pitch is going to be outside.
And then I don't know if it'll be the coup de grace because this inning's not over, but Chris Davis adds a little bit of topping to the Sunday with a 2-run shot.
Davis now with 14 career home runs against the Yankees. 3-1 delivery on the way. Jones towards the hole. Nunez is playing that way and gets it over to Reynolds to retire the side. But a very big inning as the Orioles come up with a 4-1 lead. 2 of those coming on that blast. Number 49 for Chris Davis. Friday, September 27th. Red Sox will be in town. Don't miss the post-game show lighting up the Birdland skies. Part of Fan Appreciation Week and the final weekend of the regular season. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. Fireworks tonight came from Chris Davis as he launched that home run. Nova's given up 7 this year. Davis, the big one, 4 runs all earned. The error in the inning only moved a runner up at a time that wouldn't have mattered in the end. And Chris Davis gives the crowd a jolt here. And the Orioles are up by 3. So Gonzalez back out. He'll work against Cano, Soriano, and Granderson. The RBI by Rodriguez in the 3rd inning, a double, the only one for the Yankees. Cano will take it up high for a ball.
So in the moment, that's one of the keys. And where they, it's 1-0. Now it's 4-1. 77 pitches. That's when the Orioles have to watch Miguel Gonzalez, at least this season.
That's going to go to second. Great catch made by Brian Roberts. And Cano is denied.
Yeah, the Orioles hit him softly last inning. They get 4 except for the Davis bomb. And then right here, you can't hit it any harder than this. What great defense. Do you have fast feet? Do you have agility? That's the way it is if you're going to be a good infielder. And you can see Brian Roberts, the more he plays, the better he's been getting.
A little defense helped the cause. Shift on against Soriano the other way. And it is taken for a strike. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Orioles, 1 error. The Yankees won 4-1. Yankees have left 4 on. The Orioles 3. We are in the 6th inning of game number 2 of this 4-game series. And the pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. We'll be right back with you tomorrow night. Scott Feldman, the right-hander, going against the left-hander Andy Pettitte. 2 more lefties scheduled. Pettitte and Huff for the Yankees against the Orioles. Feldman and Chen. 1-1 rattle. That's going to go to left field. Line drive back deep and goodbye home run. Ooh, did that get out in a hurry? Soriano with a line drive to left field, his 14th home run of the season. And Soriano has really gotten it done. That's 14 that he has picked up with the Yankees.
Well, 2 batters, 2 pitches hit right on the nose. You got 9 guys in your bullpen. You need to win. Miguel, for some reason, he hits wind shear when it gets into the middle innings. Fastball right down the middle to this guy. Not going to work here. In Fenway Park, it might have been a single. He hit it so hard.
What a season. I mean, 31 home runs total. With 14 coming. And the Yankees get right back in it here. It's a 4-2 ball game. Same score that ended it last night. Here is Curtis Granderson. Granderson is struck out and grounded out. .21 home runs surrendered by Gonzalez on the season. 15 of those to right-handers. Billy Castro charting.
Well, he can't like what he sees. 2 line drives and now 2-0. And I can't really explain it. When you look at usually the command and the array of pitches, it's hard to fathom what goes on, and it has to be mental.
2-0 delivery on the way.
And if it isn't, then you better get yourself into shape. And I don't think that's the case either. So, but you can't afford to go very long with Miguel because of the recent track record.
His runs in the 4th inning, he's given up 13 this year. Grounded foul. In the 15th, he's given up 16. And in 6 innings, he's given up 14. They've been the double-digit innings.
And it's not like he doesn't have the way to get you out 2 or 3 different ways, because he does. But like we said, slider, doesn't use it as much. Wouldn't be throwing it that much to the lefties anyway here.
3-1. That's a one-handed swing and a jam shot. It would have been ball 4.
That may be the injury. Curtis Granderson made a change about 3 years ago, and all of a sudden the home runs, really came. Moved his hands back, but when you break your right wrist, your left hand, all in the same year, I'm not sure he's 100%.
3-2 delivery by Gonzalez came right back in and got it.
There's your first questionable pitch called a strike tonight. This is the first time we've seen Jim Joyce really expand the strike zone. It's not a bad pitch. May have gotten the top. But again, if you were right on your call. Probably favors the hitters a little bit more till that pitch. Nice big out for Miguel Gonzalez.
That'll be strikeout number 6 for the Orioles starter, and there are 2 down. Reynolds has struck out and reached on an error. Reynolds, a rainmaker that's going to head over towards the seats in foul territory. The Yankees this season, as far as being the Bronx Bombers are concerned, haven't been. They've had 128 home runs on the season. That's the second lowest in the American League. Well, they're trying to find a way to get a few of those. Soriano did here in this inning. Their offense has struggled a bit. They've been led by, over the year, their relief pitching and some decent starter numbers. That one in the air to left field. Sorry I said that. Way back and goodbye home run. And I mean way back. And the former Oriole Mark Reynolds makes this a 1-run ball game.
Right down the middle to a home run guy, and it is hit a long way. No matter when it's going to come down.
So Reynolds gets the homer. And the Castros going to head out to give the bullpen a chance to get going. They were not warming up. They were loosening up. So they need to draw a little time here as Kevin Gossman's hustling to get ready to go. So for Reynolds with the Yankees, his 3rd home run as a Yankee in 20 games and 13 RBIs. Reynolds on the year now with 20 home runs. Reynolds gets his first home run against the Orioles in his career, and his 29th home run hit with the Orioles here at Camden Yards. So Soriano and Reynolds have provided the long ball, and the Yankees are right back to within 1.
Yeah, any momentum. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to sustain it. You got to figure out some way to get back into the dugout without giving up another run. And remember, Suzuki hit one off him up in New York. First pitch fastball.
2 homer inning for the Yankees. Ichiro has popped out and struck out. Clay Buchholz coming back to pitch for the Red Sox tonight, who lead Tampa Bay 2-0 in the 5th. No runs, 3 hits over 4 against David Price, who's given up a couple of runs on 2 hits in 5. Orioles keeping an eye on that. The Red Sox all but assured they're going to win the division. Tampa Bay now a little concerned about whether they can hang on to a wild card spot, as they are that second wild card team. And Ichiro swings it one away. 1-2. Gonzalez trying to get through this inning and hold a 1-run advantage. 1-2 pitch in the air to left field. Nate McLaughlin will move over to the line, and he's got it. That'll retire the side, but the Yankees get a couple of runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left, and this ball game's again a 1-run difference.
And Rudy, a little slapper. The error by Nunez. The Orioles would tie it up. Sacrifice fly by Nick Markakis make it 2-1 Orioles. And then Chris Davis would step up with a man on, hit a hanging curveball, 2-run home run. Orioles up 4-1. Everybody rejoicing. And then here come the Yankees. Soriano with a home run. Mark Reynolds a towering shot to make it 4-3. Orioles still had the lead. Nova thinking, you know what? I'm still in this game, even though I gave up 4 in the 5th. Gonzalez in the game, but I'm not sure if he will come out to pitch the 7th. We'll have to wait and see.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. Orioles got that 4-1 lead. Yankees came right back.
And of course, Geico saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Billy Gonzalez over watching here, hoping the Oriole offense can add some more. Wieters an 0 for 2 in the ball game. He'll take that to second base. Robinson Cano in front and gets the out. So Wieters retired, 1 down in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Nate McLouth will come up with the bases empty. Tension time. 19 games remaining for the Orioles, including this one. 2 more with the Yankees in this, then up to Toronto for the 3-game set. Pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Orioles have got to go to Tampa Bay for what looms as a very large series against Tampa Bay, and that is a 4-game set. They've got 3 in Boston. Here at home, they'll finish up with 3 against Toronto, and then the final series 3 against the Red Sox.
Yeah, I think I saw some Tampa Bay playing 11 of their next 14 at home, which is great if you're playing one.
Yes,
I mean that's just because you've done it all year. You like to think you're trending that way. 44 and 26 at home,
despite the fact nobody comes to watch it.
That's the amazing thing.
Yeah,
I mean they played. 12,000 people, 12,700.
And that pitch is in there to McLeod, taking on the 3-0. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Nate. Hardy waiting on deck. And that's going to be outside. So Nova surrenders the walk. McLeod's got it with 1 down here in the 6th inning. Our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. The O's have now scored 4 or more runs in 91 games this season, tied for second most in the majors. And then those games, the Orioles with a big winning percentage, 64 and 26.
Yeah, tied with the Red Sox, the Tigers with 92. And what are they doing tonight? Well, they're up 2-0 over the White Sox.
Tigers headed to the postseason again. Here's J.J. Hardy, a couple of singles, scored in the 5th inning. He led that 5th inning off with the infield base hit, and the Orioles will pick up 4 runs, 4 hits in the inning.
Even though Cleveland has crawled to within 4 in the loss column in that Central American, a lot closer than I think most people anticipated.
Throw over again.
And that's certainly with Nate's speed, 30 stolen bases, only been caught 6 times. The running is not out of the realm of possibility.
Base stealers 5 for 9 against Nova. Stewart 32%. Pretty good number throwing out base stealers. 1 down. No count yet on Hardy. Runner not going. Pitch inside.
Yeah, what you really hope and what speed can do, you don't have to steal a base to be effective. Because if you're Ivan Nova and you speed up your windup and that sinker doesn't sink, it flattens out a little bit because you don't really get loaded as much as you'd like. All of a sudden, you don't even have to steal a base, and J.J. Hardy, home run power, gets a pitch to drive.
Hardy will take it. It is in there for a strike. Orioles are trying to break through this 4-run mark. They have not scored more than 4 runs in a ball game in 7 consecutive games, and in 11 out of their last 14. 4 has been a magic number for the Orioles. They get 4 or more. Good winning percentage, as you saw. But in this ball game tonight, you get a feeling 4 may not be enough.
And it depends who you're playing. The White Sox, they were really struggling. A lot of guys been traded. Last in the league in runs scored. A lot of and all those games were close games. But they did hit home runs. It just happened to be 6 in the first 2 games. They were all solos.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Runner not going. Hardy off the fists. Shallow left center. Bermuda triangle. Gardner gets there and puts it away. 2 down. The video game that puts you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Build your stadium, make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire free today. Data and usage rates may apply. 2 down, still on at first base with a walk. Nate McLouth. Roberts up. He has singled, scored, and lined out on a hard hit ball to first to Reynolds. Throw over to get him back to the bag. McLeod.
Yeah, now Cano right over there in that hole. He's going to take that ground ball single away. Last time Brian Roberts hit one right into right field. Robinson Cano is playing right where he was. So anything up the middle is going to go into center field.
And taken, and it is a strike. Kansas City trying desperately to keep slim hopes alive, leading Cleveland 4-1 tonight, bottom of the 6th inning. KC's 4 games out of the second wild card spot. Cleveland a game and a half. Moustakas, couple of RBIs for KC. Guthrie, only a run, 8 hits and 5 for the Royals. McAllister, 4 runs, 6 hits over 5 for Cleveland. And a 2-strike count on Roberts.
Yeah, Jeremy gets to go back to where he signed.
He's had a pretty good year.
Yes, he has. Well, it certainly doesn't help to have James Shields come over. Up on the board, has almost 200 innings, 199 innings.
That's going to go right where Cano is standing, and he will make the play on this one. And that will retire Roberts and the Orioles. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base, 6 complete, 1-run game. His 10th win, he's got a chance to get it.
Yeah, he does. And other than the long balls in the 6th, a lot of strikeouts tonight, 6 of them. A lot of pitches early, but pitched out of trouble in the 1st. A couple of home runs in the 6th inning to make it from 4-1 to 4-3. So 94 pitches, a lot of them early. Not a bad strike to ball ratio, but just left some balls in the middle of the plate. So they bring in the last year's #1 draft choice out of LSU, and boy, he can get it up there. Got a win in relief when the Orioles were up in New York. So there are the numbers: 7 home runs. Lefties at 275 with 5 home runs. Righties at 301, but just still learning how to pitch at this level. But a marvelous arm.
So the 22-year-old will come on to work for the Orioles. Long relief. Started, of course, for the O's in games earlier this season. It's his third stint with the Orioles this season. And now his job to protect a one-run lead, at least to start, and hope the Orioles can add to it. Here's Eduardo Nunez, a single, and he is flied out. And Nunez will take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, and they know all about him because of the, he pitched when the Orioles were last up on Saturday, an inning, and then came back and got the win when the Orioles had the 7-run 7th inning.
The 0-1 to him is going to be taken away.
So they know he throws really hard and hit 99 on the radar gun up in New York. They know he's got a really good split changeup, and they know every once in a while he'll throw the slider.
1-1 delivery. Nunez down the line in right. That'll end up foul. His 5 starts with the Orioles, he went 0-3 with an ERA of a little over 7.6. Got sent back down, just wasn't working. Now back up, working out of the bullpen where he's been much more effective. He's worked as many as 4 1/3 innings, which happened to be against the Yankees. 1-2 delivery on the way, and a ball he get jammed in there, popped up right at the mound. Hardy. Run away 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Lyle Overbay is going to come on as the pinch hitter for Stewart, the catcher. Obviously looking for a long ball here from Overbay, who's got 14 of them on the season.
Yeah, which is more than he hit the last 2 years, 2010, 2011, 2012, and got one of them last night on a changeup. And that happened in the 8th inning off of Chris Tillman. He would exit after that pitch. So there's Chris Stewart.
So Stewart out as the catcher for the Yankees. Lyle Overbay with one away. And Overbay goes after it and fouls it back off Gosman.
Yeah, you talked about when he came up, had some mechanical problems. Instead of taking the knee to the chest, he's taken the chest to the knee. Really changed his posture on the mound. Rhythm and posture and spine angle, all the things. Sometimes the things you talk about in golf. There's a little splitter that he fouls off. But that's his best breaking pitch, the changeup, because it's about 12, 13 miles per hour slower, and also when he throws it well, it goes down. Either you swing through it or you hit it on the ground.
0-2 delivery to Overbay, and Overbay will lift it back again for the foul ball.
Yeah, that's probably a more hittable one at 88. Stayed up a little bit.
Oh, 2 count with 1 down. And Overbay will watch that one outside. Overbay's hit .360 against the Orioles this year. Real good numbers. 50 at bats, a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. He's done a great job with Mark Teixeira out, playing a lot of first base, the majority of it. 1-2 delivery to him, and foul tipped into the midst. Struck Overbay out.
Well, again, that's the splitter. It stays up, but watch it move. You can see him split his fingers. It's running away from the plate. And once again, that foul tip. It's amazing. We've seen at least 4 or 5 of them the last 2 nights. Right into the glove of Matt Wieters. Otherwise, he gets the hit.
So with 2 down, it'll bring up Gardner. Gardner a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 7 in the series. And again, you can see why what we talked about earlier with Tony Pena regarding the catchers being as close to the hitters you can get to catch foul tips. The ball doesn't have as far to travel and move, and thus if you've got the glove and you're following the ball, the foul tip, and you're right there, it goes in, stays there.
Yeah.
If you're further back, it's moving a little more. You got to move the glove. Your chances of getting it are reduced.
I don't want anybody sitting at home thinking you actually can move your glove to catch a foul ball.
No.
It just makes total sense what Tony talked about. I saw Adam Warren last night come in for the Yankees. And he'll get loose again for tonight.
Gosman with a 2-0 count, 2 down, the base is empty. Gardner Machado in at third. Gardner will take the pitch outside, so he gets ahead on the count 3-0. Gardner with Rodriguez waiting on deck.
Well, they won't be letting the swing away. I would be shocked.
And it is a strike call.
Well, he's so adept at working the count, he's become a pull hitter. I've seen him hit fly balls, line drives to left, but get into these counts, it's a little quicker.
3-1 delivery, foul tipped again. Gardner has struck out 122 times, drawing 50 walks on the year.
Yeah, he's trying to catch up with 95 right here, and you could see him pull down, and there's another ball that's foul tipped into the glove.
That one on the second strike. 3-2, 2 down. And Gardner's down. Gosling comes on with 2 strikeouts in the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards, and a good one in game 2 of the 4-game set. Game set will have Scott Feldman taking the mound against left-hander Andy Pettit. All right, coverage on MASN HD 6:30 O's Extra presented by Geico, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. So Nova's gone. There are the numbers.
Yep, he gives up the 2-run home run on a hanging curveball. The rest of them kind of infield variety or whatever. The Orioles have some good at-bats. They do something they haven't been able to do in the last 2 starts, get him out of there before he pitches complete games. So he didn't pitch poorly, but once again, Gonzalez pitched a little bit better. Adam Warren, he's been up and down and up and down. Saw him last night, 92, 93, little change up, a nice little breaking ball. So as we told you, they do have some health issues with Robertson and Kelly and Logan out of their bullpen. So he'll come in, try to keep it at 4-3.
Orioles will bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. New battery here with Romine coming on to do the catching, with Stewart having been pinch hit for and out of the ball game.
Took me a while to count their bullpen. I hope they have a big bench out there. There's 11 of them. 11-man bullpen.
I talked with Joe Girardi about that before the game. He and Buck Showalter, while they may have some differences, agree on one thing. This call-up stuff is ridiculous. The end of the season, when these benches and their expanded rosters expanded, both managers hate it. They just hate it. Yeah, too many players. There's not enough time to get them work in. Too many guys hanging around. Locker room's full. You can't even move in the locker room because you got to load it up with extra lockers.
I think they should expand the rosters. I just think they should limit them to maybe 35 extra a night.
I think it should be 25. You can expand the rosters all you want, but you got to pick 25 guys to play in any given game, or maybe even in a series. Why do you go through a whole season and you get to the most important month of the year and you change the rules? What the hell's that all about? Doesn't make any sense.
Tradition.
Oh, tradition.
Doesn't make it right, but that's why. They've always done that.
That's just garbage. Should be 25, and that's it, at least for the game. And I know expanded rosters about getting people up because they've earned it in the minor leagues and all that. But look, that's spring training.
Well, that's the way it used to be. Now they don't even want to start the clock on your free agency and all that. So it used to be you have a good year, you can come up and sit around.
Follow the dollar.
Yeah.
That one is a fair ball. Actually got hit and played by Romine. Roudier is retired. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored in the ball game.
Yeah, and they pitch him like you do young players. You get ahead, you just drop off and it was a good curveball. And Romaine makes a nice job of, we've seen Matt Wieters do all night, block balls. Watch him just collapse on it. Make sure it does not get him by. I mean, that's textbook right there. Keeps it in front of him and then throws him out.
That'll bring up Nick Markakis at the top of the order for the Orioles. He's 0 for 2 but has a sac fly. Davis has the 2 RBI homer. The other run scored on an error. All the runs, though, are earned off Nova. And the pitch is there for a strike to Markakis. So Adam Warren working out of the bullpen. Tight game, bottom of the 7th. Each team has left 4 on base in the ball game. And Markakis a comebacker. Warren will handle it and get the out, and there are 2 down. Manny Machado in his last at bat went back to the bench unhappy after the out had been called. He was hollering at somebody. It was the then Yankee catcher Chris Stewart. Watch as Stewart throws, how close he comes to hitting Machado. But look where Machado is. He's inside. He's on the infield side. Manny got upset and started hollering at Stewart, but really, I mean, Stewart.
Well, he's out of the base. He was in the baseline. There's a 45-foot line you're supposed to stay in. At least your left foot can be on it. And he was well outside of that. I mean, you do when you run inside that 45-foot line, you take away the angle for the catcher. And he, catchers will see him slide out towards the pitcher's mound and then fire it over your ear. But
don't complain when it comes close.
No. I mean, if I could take back all the mistakes I made at 8:21, life would have been a lot easier. But so.
Never mind.
Yeah,
8-2 count with 2 down.
I don't even want to go back and relive those. Yeah, any mistakes.
Well, for most of us, that basket's pretty full.
Exactly.
Machado will take it towards right center field. Gardner will get over there and put it away. So a good job by Warren as he comes on and retires the side in order. We completed 7. The Orioles still on top 4-3. In 1963 became the first grandfather in the big leagues to hit a home run. He was 42 years old. His grandson had just been born earlier in the day. First at bat in the game, he hit a home run. And in 08, the Angels clinched the American League West, earliest date in history in the American League West for a clinching ball game. Stan the Man Musial, 22 years as a Cardinal. He hit over 317 times, won 7 National League batting titles. He was a 3-time MVP. He was nicknamed Stan the Man by the Dodger fans for all the havoc that he wreaked at Ebbets Field. And he came 1 home run shy of the Triple Crown in 1948, one of the game's true gentlemen, and really missed at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, is he ever? Yeah, everybody in Brooklyn would say the man's coming.
Look
the
out.
Cardinals will roll in. I actually never saw that ballpark because I grew up there. I grew in New York, but I went to Yankee Stadium and the Polo Ground.
Pitch is taken for his strike. Rodriguez has doubled, struck out, flied out. He's picked up the first RBI the Yankees put up on the board. That came in the 3rd inning. He also in the 6th inning had that fly ball out to end the 5th. Didn't get up with anybody on. And the pitch launched to the line. That's going to go into the corner. It's a fair ball. It'll hit off the wall. Nate McLouth going over to get it. And A-Rod, the potential tying run in this game, is on with a double in the 8th.
Well, what did Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, said you could time a jet plane if you throw it. And right there, that's just down and in. And he's looking fastball. Anytime you throw 99, or you can hit 99, that's what you're going to sit on. So he just drops the bat head. Pretty nice swing for a 38-year-old guy that's had all kinds of injuries. Really quick bat.
Now Robinson Cano comes to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Lined out to second, denied a base hit by Roberts his last time up. He's not had a hit yet in this series. 0 for 7. Cano with that monster 360 batting average here in his career at Camden Yards coming into this game. Kevin Gausman will step off with A-Rod on at second base. And not going to move anybody real close. Hardy's, the shortstop, will hold him. And Cano will take the pitch outside for a ball. Francisco Rodriguez in the Oriole bullpen.
Hey, getting the close games. The Yankees 25 and 15. 1-run games, as you mentioned. Very strong bullpen when healthy. Orioles 16 and 25 here in 2013.
1-0 count. Cano takes first strike.
Yeah, right on the corner.
Yankees have now out hit the Orioles in the ball game by 1, 7-6. Cano, the ever dangerous. Fans having their own little battle regarding A-Rod. Once he comes up, the turn does stop till he's back in the dugout. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that's going to be fouled back hard to the top of the screen.
So you get him into a count where Kevin Gausman and Matt Wieters behind the plate are thinking strikeout. And how do you do that? Well, you can run the ball up and in on him, or you can use the splitter change. But in this count, you don't have to throw it for a strike.
One ball, 2-strike delivery. Cano again. Foul ball. Cano's got one of the best averages finishing out a season over the last 50 years. His number 330 is his regular season average in September and October. And over that 50-year period, it's the 6th highest average in the final month of the season in the majors. Of course, the other months weren't far behind.
No, I mean, last year I think he threw a 20 for 38 down the stretch, right into the playoffs.
1 ball, 2-strike delivery to him. A-Rod up the middle. That's going to... Nope, I don't know. A-Rod's going to make the turn. They're going to wave him. Here's Jones. Here's the throw. Wieters has it covered. A-Rod is in. Wow, I did not think Robbie Thompson would send him. A-Rod is not fast. But Thompson had the arm going all the way around, and I think even A-Rod was surprised, and the ball game's tied.
Adam makes a nice throw, but skips. And then the sweep tag by Matt Wieters. Take a look right here. Rob Thompson sends him. I mean, right there, I'm not sure that was necessary. And then to the outside portion of the plate. Big guy, used to really run well before all the hip injuries and age at 38.
And the Yankees have come back to tie the ball game up as Cano gets the RBI base hit. It is 4-4. And ripped foul by Soriano, who's had a home run, 1 for 3 in the game. So the Orioles 4-1 lead is gone. And A-Rod was attended to immediately by Steve Donahue, the trainer over there, after he came in on that slide. The Yankees hold their breath whenever he's doing anything in the base paths, much less sliding. That bad hit. 0-1 delivery in the air to right field, and that ball's not going to stay in the yard. Way back, and goodbye home run. A 2-homer ball game for Alfonso Soriano. His third RBI of the game, and the Yankees lead by 2.
Wow. He hit it like a left-handed pull hitter.
And that will be it for Kevin Gausman coming out of the bullpen. He will leave as the pitcher of record on the negative side of it, as 3 up and 3 in here in the 8th inning have given the Yankees the 6-4 lead. Out and wondering what just happened. He got through the 7th inning with a couple of strikeouts, but in the 8th,
Yeah. Well, the Yankees made a nice adjustment. Francisco Rodriguez, certainly the veteran right-handers, actually pitched really well for the Orioles. Struggled early when he came over from Milwaukee with the home run ball. 2 earned runs in his last 13 2/3 innings. You can see lefties. I mean, he really dominates them. The changeup, one of his most effective pitches, works really well against him. So, boy, the Yankees, to their credit, I mean, they get 3 quick runs, and now it's up to the Oriole bullpen to give the offense a chance to come back.
Nobody out. Bases are empty. 3 runs in for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. And the pitch will be taken for a strike by Granderson. He has struck out twice and flied out. Granderson with a run 1 for 8 off Rodriguez. The shift employed. Manny Machado out in right field. Here's the 0-1 delivery and fouled off. So Granderson with a 2-strike count. So it's the Yankees who have not used the long ball much this season, putting away 3 home runs in the ball game. Soriano's got numbers 31 and 32. It is the 4th time this year Soriano's had a multi-homer game. 0-2 delivery, and that's where they weren't playing him. That'll roll into the corner, going over to get it, Nate McLeod. An easy stand-up double for Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, and they averaged over 8 runs a game up against the Red Sox, only hit 1 home run. So all of a sudden, the slumber has ended.
They got all those runs against the Red Sox, as Jim said, couldn't win. They came into the ball game last night having scored the second most runs this month in the American League. And now they got 6 runs on 10 hits in this game. Joe Girardi's offense coming around, but never going to have enough the way these two teams can put runs up. Reynolds, he's had a homer, his 20th, reached on an error and has struck out. And Rodriguez will miss outside with it. Reynolds 1 for 1 and the only time off Rodriguez.
Now, Frankie hasn't pitched in 6 days, so kind of wonder if that will affect his command, and part of that is the fact that the starters have done such a good job.
1-0 count. Roberts holding the runner at second. 1-0, there he goes to third. That's going to be hit down the line, base hit. Runner going, Granderson will easily score, and Reynolds is on his way in the extra base hits. Keep on coming for the Yankees, who extend their lead to 7-4.
Well, I believe that was a run and hit. Granderson, you start him. Jeter smiling, everybody smiling. Why wouldn't they? They already got 4, and I mean, he's running, and they just put him in motion, and it's a hit and run. And Reynolds gets a great high fastball to hit, so back-to-back doubles to make it 7-4.
So in this inning, there have been 3 doubles, a home run, and a single. There's still nobody out. Here's Ichiro, runner at second base. Squares to bunt, and we'll take it for a strike.
Well, this is getting like that 5-run 5th inning on a week ago Friday up in New York, where the Orioles were ahead, and then all of a sudden they weren't. And then Ichiro stepped up and hit a first pitch home run.
Ichiro is only 2 for 25 off Rodriguez. Maybe that's why he's showing bunt. He does. He drops it. Got a chance at third. Reynolds going. Oh,
there's no force.
Play.
No force.
Manny Machado thought there was a force play. There was none. He did not tag the runner.
No, snap throw, and they think he's going to tag him, but he doesn't. He thinks there's a runner at first, so it's just a forced play. It's not.
A fielder's choice will be awarded on that, and they did not, as you saw, get it over in time to get Ichiro.
You would think. Well, I guess you can't. This is not a sacrifice. I don't give it to third base.
It's a mental error.
Yeah, man, you don't see those very often from Manny, but that's.
Here is Nunez, first and third. There's still nobody out. Nunez has singled. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Infield drawn in halfway, or a little more than halfway. Ground ball. This is to hold the runner at third. They do. There's 1 and no relay. Trying to prevent that run from scoring, and they did. They get the force out. Nunez at first base now on his fielder's choice. Ichiro out at second. Bullpen active. You saw the manager on the phone, Josh Stinson, up. Yankees 7-4 lead. 1 out. Still runners at first and third. And Kevin Romine is going to get his first at bat in the ball game. Or Austin Romine, I'm sorry. Romine 0 for 1, the only time he has faced Rodriguez. First and third, 1 away. And Nunez back to the bag. 4 runs in for the Yankees, equaling the 4 runs the Orioles put up in their 5th inning. With the Yankees with a 3-run lead. Orioles once led in this ball game 4-1. And Romine will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Kevin Gausman charged with 3 runs, 3 hits, and an inning plus and 2 strikeouts. The first 3 runs of the inning. Miguel Gonzalez, the starter, 3 runs, 6 hits over 6, and then the last run, Rodriguez. And a pitch will miss outside. 1-1. Yankees now 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position in the ball game. They've had lots of them out there. Last night, never had a chance with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, well, that kind of gives you again the indication of how well Chris Tillman pitched last night.
Romine twice unhappy with strikes called in this at bat. There's Tillman, who got his 16th win of the season.
Boy, you'd love to get a strikeout here. Ground ball. Pitcher's count.
1-2 is going to come inside as Rodriguez slipped on that one all the way down to one knee. Slid a little bit after the delivery.
Well, a lot of pitchers out there, so a lot of holes. Everybody stands. You could see his foot come right over the pitching rubber. You really want to push off it. Even though Koufax said you want to put the spikes right on top of it. Certainly worked for him. But most of the times you put the edge of your foot right on the home plate side of the pitching rubber, and this just slipped right off.
2-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. Romine.
Well, that's what he was looking for. And you know Austin wanted to make contact, but boy, look at this breaking ball. Perfect.
So now first and third with 2 down. And the Yankees have batted around with Gardner coming to the plate after that strikeout. Gardner's got a double. It came in his first at bat. He is 1 for 4 in the game. As Rodriguez tries to end this inning right here. Gardner with a 1 for 5 off the Oriole right-hander. Reynolds at third. Nunez over at first, 2 outs. Change of events in this game here in the 8th inning. And that is their first strike.
Yeah, it seems like the strike zone's gotten a little wider. I think Joyce very tight early on, and
John Kelly back in action and warming up in the bullpen. 1 strike count on Gardner. And that's there as well. 0-2.
Yeah, Kelly's had a terrific year, but you have to remember Robertson's had shoulder problems. He's had tricep problems. Boone Logan's had problems. Rivera blew a couple of saves. That's why these outs right here in the 8th inning are so critical. It keeps you within reach.
Oh, 2 down. Leads at first and third, and he got him. So Rodriguez gets a strikeout, 2 of them. But the Yankees put 4 up on the board as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Orioles down by 3. drive of the game as Chris delivered home run number 49 in the 5th inning, and he rocked it. Brought in 2. Orioles were in pretty good shape then. Not so right now. Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the Baltimore area's #1 Lexus dealer. Come see why they're #1 at LexusofTowson.com.
Sean Kelly comes on his last appearance after 6 days off after he got the loss. Hardy took him deep into right center field in New York, and then he pitched against the Red Sox, but tricep problems. He's had a really nice year for him. One of those guys that he actually had 2 Tommy John surgeries. He did a special surgery on his arm, so he's been able to come back. First saw him, at least the Orioles did, when he came in pitching for the Mariners. So only 12 earned runs in his last 44 games, and really done a nice job. Batters are only hitting a little over 200.
David Adams will play at third base, so A-Rod is out of the ball game, and it looked as though may have tweaked something or injured something on that slide into home plate when he scored in that last half inning. So he's come out. Adams is on, and the Orioles bat bottom of the 8th inning, and Davis will foul it away. For Kelly this season against the Orioles, this will be game number 7. He's got an 0-1 record against the O's, and in 3 1/3 innings, the Orioles have touched him up for a couple of runs on 4 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Fouled off against the shift, and a 2-strike count on Davis.
Yeah, I think he has the original Tommy John surgery, and then when he re-injured that ligament, they very difficult to do 2 of them and have them work out. They went back and actually sewed it back together. So one of the few times they've ever been able to do it. So for even to be able to come back and pitch, amazing.
Sean Kelly has gotten Davis all 3 times they faced each other. That ball will be taken down low. So the Orioles need some base runners here in the 8th inning, as they are down after having a 4-1 lead in the ball game. Second game of the 4-game set. As both these teams battle for a wild card spot. That's really what's left to get to the postseason. 2-2 delivery, and Davis takes, and the count will go full 3-2.
Yeah, they want to walk him. At this point in the game, you got to take it.
This is the night Tampa Bay's still losing their game. Cleveland's losing their game. Tampa Bay's got the second wild card. Cleveland's tied with the Orioles, a game and a half out. 3-2 delivery, and that one will catch a piece of Chris on the way up off the ground.
Yeah, a little breaking ball, 3-2. Right instep. Yeah, and if those scores hold true, then Kansas City would crawl within 3 in the loss column for that second wild card.
They lead Cleveland. Kansas City does 5-3. Inside, Orioles get what they needed to start the inning, a walk. Davis on, Jones coming up. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the Y of Central Maryland's Fit and Fun program. To date, the Orioles have drawn 365 walks for $18,250. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Adam Jones with a 2 for 7 off Kelly. Rothschild going to the bullpen phone, their pitching coach.
And the tricep, that's what kept him out for about 7 games, is really on the underside of your bicep, and it connects into your elbow. And when he pitched in New York, he did not have the velocity that he had earlier in the year.
Oh, 1 the count. Adam will foul that one away. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the choices tonight. Alfonso Soriano, 2-homer night, 3 RBIs. Miguel Gonzalez, 3-run, 6 hits over 6. And Chris Davis, Major League leading 49th homer, 2 RBIs. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 318-26. home run ball game tonight. The Yankees have 3. Orioles have the 1. 0-2 delivered to Jones. Will be outside. Good pitching duel continues. Tampa Bay Red Sox lead 2-0. Buchholz returning, 74 pitches. He's given up just 3 hits in 5 innings, no runs. David Price, a couple of runs, 3 hits in 7 1/3. 1-2 delivery. Jones, good eye.
Yeah, the breaking ball. It looks to me they're picking it up a little bit better than in months past. And then the arm could have something to do it. I mean, his breaking ball was so good early on.
Mr. Rivera in the bullpen. 2-2 delivery and a ground. Ooh, right off the mask. I mean, hard off Romine.
Yeah, here comes Steve Donahue, their trainer, and Joe Girardi, former catcher. On the top of the mask.
Had a real. I mean, Tony Payne is a person I really like, a friend, and we were talking again before the game about catching things. He said, pick up the mask like he's wearing right there, and pick up one like I wore. He said the masks we had when I was playing were 3 pounds heavier than the masks that they use now, even though they're all wire masks. He said because that's a titanium use that's very light, but he said it does not give you the protection we had from our masks. You get a much greater ricochet effect on these masks than you did on the masks when we played. He said, I think that's one of the reasons catchers are taking so much of a beating nowadays. 2-2 delivery and a check swing, and he's out of there, and he doesn't argue, and home plate umpire Jim Joyce made the call.
Now the Yankees hunting for outs with a 3-run lead and a little extra, 93. Had him trying. He hits his helmet. Got to be very careful doing that. That's the way Brian Roberts got his concussion. Yeah, and Austin Romine, yeah, well, they should be.
They've got another catcher in Murphy, their youngster. You just can't risk this, and Steve Donahue saying you're out of there. So Romine's going to come out after taking that foul ball shot off the head, and the Yankees will go to the bullpen, and Murphy, I think.
Yeah, J.R. Murphy, there he is, had a chance. Kenny Singleton broadcast for the Yankees, introduced me to him. Little guy, but
Steve Donahue took one look at those eyes and said, that's that.
yeah, right on the top of the mask.
So Murphy was working in the bullpen.
Yeah, you would think, and I get my point is you would think that the makers of masks would do all kinds of concussion tests and things like that, which, yeah, it's maybe lighter is more comfortable, but is it more protective? And Tony makes a great point. And
I think they are now. There are a number of, or not a number, but there are a couple of studies underway. One regarding that mask. Do you get better protection wearing that so-called hockey mask, the molded one, than you do from a regular cage mask? And there's some indication the answer to that is no. That in fact that mask may be so solid and tight that you get a greater reverberation on the brain because the mask doesn't move, doesn't give any when you're wearing that. And the old wire masks like that, much lighter, not affording as much protection either. So we'll see. I mean, the studies are being done on that because obviously there's great concern for both catchers and umpires. So Murphy will work behind the plate here while Wieters waits with a runner at first and 1 down. You see 7th inning or later this season for the Orioles. Their batting average is 4th best, more home runs 7th inning on than anyone else in the American League, 3rd in runs, tied for 3rd in extra base hits, and 2nd in slugging percentage.
Well, that's why it was so important for Frankie Rodriguez after coming in and giving up the 2 doubles Runners at first and third, only one out to get out of the inning, and he was able to do it. So another run on, and then all of a sudden tying run comes to the plate. But they're always sitting on the bench and say, at least let's get to that point, take our chances.
Murphy, 22-year-old out of Bradenton, Florida. Non-roster invitee at spring training this year. Working behind the plate. Wieters up. And Wieters will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. Matt with an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Davis a leadoff walk. He's still at first. Strikeout by Jones from Kelly coming on to work this inning. Adam Warren is now the pitcher of record for the Yankees. He worked an inning with zeros across. Kevin Gausman the pitcher of record for the Orioles. 1 inning plus 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. And Wieters will foul that one back. And the count goes to 0-2. Wieters to be followed by McLeod. 7-4 lead Yankees. Out hitting the Orioles 11-6 in the ball game. Pacing time for all these managers with these ball clubs. Vying for a spot. And way around on that one. Fouls it off. Infield double play depth. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Wieters will take it. It's going to get away, and down to second base goes Davis. That'll take away the chance for the double play. Right through Murphy on that one.
Well, anytime it bounces, they'll call it because it was a breaking ball in the dirt, but that's a ball that should have been blocked. And when you're down by 3, nobody's going anywhere, so they'll change the signs now. And right through the legs. Didn't get down on it.
Well, with 1 away, the Orioles get a runner to second. And Wieters with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 2 for 3 for the Orioles and 2 for 10 for the Yankees. 1-2. Wieters again. Bounces. Runner's going to go. Here's the throw. Murphy, and no. Gets in under the tag of Adams.
Yeah, Hickox went really early call. And Girardi doesn't think that. Then he tagged him up on the arm. Hand was in. He was right there. Joe wants him to be out. I don't blame him for going out. He's not going to change it. This time in front of him. Snap throw on the money. Boy, this angle you'll see from above.
Good call.
Certainly close.
So a runner at third base.
And J.R. Murphy goes, whoa, wait a minute. I want him to be out.
A big chance to get a run here. Wieters is going to do that down the line. It is not quite. Foul ball. So Wieters will come back. Obviously gives the Orioles a chance to get a run in all kinds of different ways. As Davis has gone from first to third while Wieters has been at the plate on those wild pitches.
Well, they'll concede the run. Everybody back. Sean Kelly's not conceding it. He'd this count 2-2. He'd love to be able to strike out Matt Wieters. Anywhere in play is going to get a run in, except back to the pitcher. A little bit extra. Or maybe the arm is feeling a little bit better.
So the count at 3-2. Only 1 away. The Orioles trying to bring the potential tying run in the ball game to the plate here in the 8th inning. McLeod and then Hardy would be due up. Three-two, 1 out. Wieters in the air to left. Soriano. Davis will tag. He'll score easily. Sac fly for Wieters, and it is a 7-5 ball game.
A couple of sac flies the last 2 nights for Matt. Obviously would have liked to have done more, but that at least gets the 5th run in.
So the Orioles get it back to a 2-run difference. First RBI of the ball game for Matt. It clears the bases with 2 away. Wieters with his 71st RBI and a major league leading 10th sacrifice fly. And that will be it for Kelly. So with all these available pitchers and with Girardi loving to match up, believing in matching up here, let's see if he'll bring in, I guess, a left-hander here, and we'll see whether or not the Orioles respond to that.
I think it's going to be Mariano.
Mariano's going to come in. It is 7-5 Yankees. To a season being developed for the Yankees in terms of Mariano Rivera. As the saying has gone, both from him and from his manager, he's not saving anything for 2014. But that now brings us to the question of, does he have enough for 2013?
Well, they've used him a little bit differently. He came in to close the game, got a blown save on the 5th against the Red Sox. It was 8-8. They would lose 9-8. Then he took a couple days off. They brought him back in. Well, actually, the day before the blown save against the Red Sox, he pitched 4 outs against the White Sox, did get a save, and then he pitched 2 innings just a couple of days ago against the Red Sox in a game they won. Blew the save in that ball game, and then they would come back, win it 4-3. So kind of getting back. I mean, let's talk about 360. He came up as a starting pitcher for the Yankees, and he was a setup guy to John Wetland his first year in 1995. 1996 too. So, and then all of a sudden Wetland free agent down to Texas. He became the closer, and 649 saves later, here is Mariano Rivera.
He has blown 4 of the last 12 save chances. 3 times this year he's come on and worked more than 1 inning, and his ERA is 3.38 in those games. He comes on here with the bases empty and 2 down in the 8th inning to face Nate McLouth. Now, Rivera being called on with this bullpen, while they have a lot of numbers, as Jim said, the numbers are from pitchers who've not been there this year. And the guys they've relied on, like Boone Logan, just not available, not David Robertson, and probably for both of them, they're not going to be available in this series.
I mean, Dave Robertson said he felt better, but that doesn't mean that he will be pitching.
1-1 delivery. McLouth will take it inside for a ball. McLouth an 0 for 3 off Rivera, as the Orioles have made it a 2-run ball game, and McLouth trying to get that walk with Hardy waiting on deck. 2-1 delivery to him, and that'll be in there for a strike.
Yeah, just a little cut fastball. He does have a 2-seamer. Cutter, you throw with a stiff wrist. You're on the right side of the ball, so it comes into lefties, away from righties, and then he'll turn it over. Or he just stays on the left side of the ball, runs away. And that's the backdoor cutter. So it's pretty much when he came up, 94, 95, occasionally would hit 96. As the years have gone by, the velocity's gone down, but the success rate certainly hasn't. Like 40 saves now for the 9th time. Trevor Hoffman, first to 600. That ties him.
McLeod will prop it up. It'll be in the third base side. Murphy will make the play. And Rivera comes on to retire the side. The Orioles, however, will add a run on no hits. Nobody left on. Josh Stinson to pitch. Now your choice is simple. T-Mobile Unleash. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. 2nd of 4 against the Yankees, and another good one. Yankees have the 7-5 lead as we go to the 9th inning, and Josh Stinson to pitch.
Yeah, those are the numbers. You got the one start. That was against Tampa Bay, and then he's been up and down third time. Well, fastball, slider, changeup guy, big, tall, right-hander. Claimed off waivers from the Oakland A's back in early April. So just come in, get 3 outs, give your hitters a chance.
Checking the charts and the matchups, both managers. Stinson with the Tides this year, 21 starts, 7-6, 3.78 ERA with the AAA Tides. Yankees batted around in the 8th inning, getting 4 runs on 5 hits. They bat here in the 9th inning, and David Adams will be in the number 2 spot where Rodriguez had been and started that inning out in the 8th with a double. Rodriguez coming out, we believe, because of maybe tweaking that hip, and he slid into home plate. Jeter, of course, not playing, talking to his manager there. Adams in on the fist to him, and he'll foul that one back.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, thank Stinson because fastball, slider, and maybe a changeup third pitch might be better out of the bullpen. He's got a nice arm.
Adams hasn't played in 7 games. He was recalled on the 1st of the month when the roster was expanded.
Yeah, he came up in early May. I thought he was going to be one of the great young players. We saw him, and he stayed inside of everybody, hit a couple of home runs. Played pretty well at third. Got a kind of a funky release, but from a hitting standpoint, it just looked like he did everything right for a young hitter coming to the big leagues, and then the league adjusted and he didn't. Back to the minors.
194 average with the Yankees and 129 at bats. 1-2 delivery, and that will be taken outside. He's really their only infielder that they've got to play despite the expanded roster with the injuries they've got. He's the one, so he came on to play at third for Rodriguez. 2-ball, 2-strike count on David Adams. And again, inside on him, and he'll foul the pitch back.
Yeah,
Adams,
you would think.
Yeah,
you would think they would, especially when you know somebody's going to come up for tomorrow. Now that Alex Rodriguez may be somewhat injured, certainly hope it's not serious because you don't want anybody hurt, but they'll have to recall somebody.
2 ball, 2 strike count. And a chopper that will go foul. So he'll come back with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Orioles. Here is the left-hander, Brian Mattis, in the bullpen.
He hasn't pitched since the 2nd of September. Been a while for Brian.
Two and two. And another one hacked away. So working at it here. He fouls it off, keeps the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stinson working for Rodriguez, who worked an inning with a run on 2 hits and a couple of strikeouts. Gausman 3 runs, 3 hits, an inning plus. Gonzalez 3 runs, 6 hits over 6. Kevin Gausman, the pitcher of record for the Orioles, and he got him. Stinson gets the strikeout.
Man, Adams thought it was off the plate.
That'll be it for Stinson. So he does battle with Adams, and 1 away here in the 9th inning. He'll work a 1/3 of an inning and get a strikeout. Brian Mattis, the left-hander, will come on to face Cano, with Soriano due up after. New York 7 and the Orioles 5. Ball game. Here's Brian Mattis.
Yeah, he's done a pretty nice job, and really not that much work lately. As we mentioned, hasn't pitched since the 2nd, so he dominates lefties. 96 batters. He struck out 30 of them. Righty's a little bit different number against the right-handers. He's the 303 mark, but only 13 strikeouts in 76. So he's kind of become a left-handed specialist. Very good. Only 3 inherited runners over the last 2 years have scored, so he's done a nice job in that respect.
Against the Yankees this year in 4 previous games, 3 2/3 innings, no runs on a couple of hits, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Cano, on the other hand, is hitting .310 against Mattis with 2 home runs. 1 down, bases are empty here in the top of the 9th inning. And Mattis will take the pitch up, get the pitch up high to Cano. Cano delivered an RBI single in the 8th inning. His lone hit so far in the 2 games, 1 for 8. Ball game has started out as a pitching duel. It's turned more towards the offense for each of these teams in the latter part of the game. The Orioles, with their big 5th inning when they got 4 runs, had a 4-1 lead at that point. Yankees, though, have scored 6 runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. 2-0 delivery by Mattis, and just missed away, or low. 3-0 and Cano.
The type of game where If you're Buck Showalter, you got to thinking about, I may have to just sequence my way through the back end of this bullpen, keep the game where it is. Especially with Soriano's already had 2 home runs coming up.
That is the first walk surrendered by the Oriole pitchers. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Play game. Here are the results so far. Chris Davis on top. Still time to text in your vote, A, B, or C. 31826. Results in the O's Extra Postgame Show.
But then again, Showalter might saying, you know what? The 2 home runs that Soriano's hit are off right-handed.
Jason Hamill in the bullpen. So Soriano, his 4th multi-homer game, numbers 31 and 32 on the year, 3 RBIs, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, 1 down, 1 on, and he was going for another one.
And he got a pitch, maybe just a shade high.
He has not faced Brian Mattis before.
He can coil, and those are the numbers as a Yankee.
0-1 count. Another one foul straight back.
It's easy for him if you watch it the way Alfonso Soriano, he's very wide with his feet. So what happens, he lifts his leg, but it's, you know, if you're trying to pitch, you're trying to get him out on his front foot, the leg comes back and his weight really stays back well. I mean, from this angle, it's just a little bit of a lift. And he's trying to hit the back of the ball. He does it well. Just that little timing mechanism.
Soriano against the lefties with the Yankees, hitting .333, 204 against righties, and he's had 7 home runs against left-handers with the Yankees. 1 on and 1 out. 9th inning, Orioles down by 2. They give themselves a chance in the bottom half, and up high again, 2-2.
Man, that's really pretty much where Matt Wieters wanted it. When Brian Mattis was starting, he could get in on the righties, little cutter in, change up down and away. Looks like where they may be going here. Start a fastball inside.
2-2 delivery to him. Soriano, a rainmaker in the infield. Third base, Manny Machado. In fair territory, puts it away. Soriano's retired.
So now you get the matchup you want. Granderson lefty versus Mattis.
Granderson, he's 229 off left-handers, 248 off righties. Granderson in the ball game, delivering a double in the 8th inning. He'd come around to score. He has struck out twice and grounded out, and works against Brian Mattis with 2 away and a runner on here in the top of the 9th inning. Granderson is 6 for 18 off Brian Mattis with 4 home runs. And the pitch on the inside corner, first strike. Oh, and 1 shift on. Machado out in right field, and the breaking ball stays up. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Granderson will take it inside. So Granderson gets ahead on it, 2-1. Here in the top of the 9th with 2 away.
Yeah, when you don't pitch in 9 days, even though you do your little side work, he cannot stay over the pitching rubber long enough to be able to get his arm out in front. So Bryant's pretty much right shoulder flying, and then that's why all the breaking balls are staying up. It'll slow down just a shade.
And got that one in there.
Now Cano can steal bases, but he's not going to run here. Not a great breaking ball, but it's over. And it's got a late enough bite that Granderson swings through it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And a swing and a miss. Brian Mattis gets the strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Mariano Rivera will come back out. With the Yankees up by 2, Ken Rivera get it done, being asked to carry an extra heavy workload in his final season and final month with the Yankees. I mean, it doesn't sound like a whole lot more, but it's so different than coming on top of the ninth, bottom of the ninth to get a save as opposed to the eighth.
Well, 35 pitches in his 2 innings, and the last time against the Red Sox, he did blow the save. That's why he went the next inning. They would come back and win that game. You know, typical inning for him because he throws so many strikes. Gary, 55 innings, only 9 walks, so you usually have to earn your way on.
And here we go in the bottom half of the ninth inning. And Hardy will take the pitch for a strike from Rivera. Hardy with a 1 for 8 off the Yankee closer. For Hardy in the ball game, a couple of singles, runs scored, 2 for 3. And down to the first base side and foul.
Yeah, you have about 4/10 of a second to be able to get your front foot down when Rivera gets his down and then track the ball. And the cutter, it's all about movement. It used to be about movement and velocity. Now at 90, I mean, that's just a tick below the average major league fastball, but the movement gets you.
0-2 delivery will be outside.
And then they do all those studies where actually, because your eyes can't focus, that you have to pick the ball up about 12 feet out. And then that late movement. That's why he's able to miss bat heads.
1-2. And Hardy the other way. And it's headed foul and into the seats. Rivera's after his 42nd save. Jim Johnson leads with 43. The Yankees are trying to keep their hopes alive for the wild card. You'll have to check your scoreboard for all the fans tonight, however this comes out, to relook at the standings. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Hardy. Hardy, Roberts, Rudy Adu up.
And the righties with the more of the home runs. They average about the same, right around 250. 5 home runs right-handed.
2-2 ground ball to short. Third hop Nunez. And Hardy is retired. 1 away.
Hey, that's that late movement. You think you have it covered. You think you have it barreled up to some degree, and then the ball just runs away.
1 down in the ninth. Roberts, a single, a run scored.
And they'll all come in. Adams at third. Reynolds, oh, he's looking over.
Bryan is 6 for 18. Lifetime off Rivera. Reynolds will back up at first, and at third, Adams in. And the pitch is taken for a strike by Brian Roberts. 7-11-1 for the Yankees. 5-6-1 for the Orioles. 7 left on by the Yankees. 4 by the O's.
And they out-homered to this point the Orioles 3-1. That's pretty much the difference.
And the pitch is going to be inside to Brian Roberts. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. And Roberts with a high strike call. One and two. Orioles need to get one on here. Get that potential tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. Rivera with a 1-2 delivery and held off and it missed.
Well, that was a two-seamer. Everything's coming right to left. That's the cutter to a lefty, and then he turns it over. When he came up as a starter, and you can see it just fading away. So hold it with the seams, turn it over a little bit, get a little different look for the hitter.
Second base, Hopper, Cano. Robinson Cano, who never, ever has had his heart beat faster than the norm when he's sitting down. He is the coolest on the field.
Well, but he gets it done.
Yeah. I mean, that's a compliment.
Well, I remember Treblehorn used to turn to Mike Hargrove when somebody would make a diving play. He'd go Sports Center or from the School of Cool. Well, Cano is from that school, but he's also winning Gold Gloves. Yes, he is. The headmaster.
Here is Urrutia, a 2 down 9th inning, and he will foul that one off. So Urrutia gets the unenviable task of coming to the plate in the 9th inning with 2 away, trying to keep a ball game alive and getting his first at bat against Rivera.
Well, maybe he's adept at hitting bottle caps in Cuba.
Comes back to the mound. Rivera's got it. Game over. So the Yankees mount a comeback as Rivera gets the save, recording the final 4 outs. Soriano with 2 homers and 3 RBIs in the ballgame. Kevin Gausman takes the loss, and Adam Warren will get the win. Game 3 of this 4-game set will be coming up tomorrow. It'll be Scott Feldman on the mound against Andy Pettit. Our coverage on MASN HD 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Geico, and our game at 7. This has been a MASN presentation. Jim and Rick O's Extra, presented by PNC, is coming up right now. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. We'll see you tomorrow night. Adieu.